You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day.
Let's go! And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hello there. Welcome back, everybody, to the Charger Chat.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Hi, friends.
And
Found it.
Found it. And
Found it.
Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
We're all in my house.
That's right, folks.
And I apologize for our voices because we sound like we've been
little hoarse.
Little hoarse.
We did a lot of screaming yesterday, and understandably so. It was it was the first game to be at.
It was a very screamy game.
Yeah,
Had to do it.
Had to do it. So, welcome, folks, to the Charger Chat podcast. This is our post home opener game of 2021, and boy, we wanted to come on here just like ready to go, just like jacked about everything and everybody, and it's tough. It's been a tough, a home opener shouldn't go the way that went, and we understand that. But we've had a day to think about it. I
think it was a very important sleep and day.
We needed to sleep.
Collect
we needed to collect ourselves. I mean, especially just walking out of that stadium was a rough go.
Yeah.
All that aside,
yesterday was probably one of the best days
I've had
of my life.
The results of the game aside, it was awesome.
The energy and the love that we experienced before the game just made the game, the result of the game, feel like it wasn't that big of a deal.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the family, the community that we experienced was absolutely
100%. And it all started with the bus that we jumped on, the 5 North Bolt.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, we woke up bright and early in the morning, got ourselves over to Oceanside to get picked up by 5 North Bolt and rode up with Patty as well as a bus.
Dude, Patty was the best.
Yeah.
She was ready to party.
She was so cool.
And everybody just raring to go. What do you got there, Kev? What did you win on that 5 North Bolt?
I have a flag. I want a flag. This is my flag.
Proudly flying in Missouri.
All my raffle. Dude, this is going on my car. It is going to be flying so fast and furious. I'm going to go 50 miles an hour in a 35 just so this thing is really taut and ready to party. If you happen to be
in Missouri and see a black Prius rocking a Charger flag out the window, this is your guy.
Caleb, you hi.
The ride up was just awesome. I mean, sitting next to some awesome people. You guys sat together. I sat next to a fellow by the name of Damien, who was just awesome. It was just good conversation back and forth.
Like, what's it like being like around Charger fans? Because we're around each other via the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not always around Charger fans. Kyle's got the closest thing to it.
Right.
But we were just like constantly running in and talking Charger football with people that we've never met. But like the bond that comes from meeting people that have a common thing. It's just
sometimes
unreal.
you start to feel like a lunatic.
Yeah.
You're like, I shouldn't like this team this much, right? Like, I need to have other things in my life.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. Why did I pick this one?
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like I should be with my family more or be doing other constructive
utilizing
things.
this time better.
It also feels weird with both of you looking at me and me not looking at the screen. This is
nice.
It's a different narrative, folks. So we don't make eye contact like we normally do. It's because I'm actually looking at Kyle who's over here and I'm looking at Kevin who's right over here.
Yeah. But it was good to see other people, and no one on that bus was like a wishy-washy fan.
Mm-mm.
There was one family from Tampa that flew out to go to the home opener,
awesome.
And it was and his son's birthday.
And one of the guys, it was his birthday. Obviously, Patty puts together this bus to take up all these fans to every game, and everyone was singing when we were pulling up to the stadium. They were all singing all of like our San Diego Charger we were like fight songs.
It was so fun,
and everyone knew every word. It was like, okay, I'm not crazy.
No. we're
I am crazy, but we're all crazy.
We're crazy together.
If I'm crazy, this whole bus is crazy.
I found my group of crazy people, and we're all in this together.
We're all going to the loony bin together.
The loony bin,
Yeah. So the write up was incredible. That was an awesome, I mean, because we had drinks and everything like that. We're riding up on a bus full of Charger fans to this stadium for the first time ever. Like when we rolled up and you could see the stadium, it was like going to Disneyland. Beautiful. Like you could see the castle. This was like you could see the SoFi Stadium
Space
and be
Mountain right there.
There it is. And it's, I mean, folks, I can't explain to you, if you haven't been to SoFi Stadium, going to SoFi Stadium is, the pictures don't do it justice. Like you see it in pictures and you're like, wow, that's a really impressive stadium. But until you actually are walking up to it, to this behemoth of a stadium that's just, it is so massive. And it's not just a square building or a round stadium.
You don't even see like the stadium of the stands.
You can't look at it and see all of it.
You just see the canopy, this big
this
Star
covering over the stadium. And it is so impressive, the construction that went into making this, that like you're just walking up to it in awe. But we got off the bus and we had to walk. We ended up walking up around the entire stadium. Like we had to walk around half of it to get to Thunder Alley.
Get that pink lot in. Let's go.
Had to go over to Thunder Alley. And Manischewitz, we didn't know what to expect when we got to Thunder Alley. We were just like, okay, maybe a couple people might know who we are, like maybe Karen and Jen and maybe one or two other people. But everybody that stopped by and talked to us at Thunder Alley, we couldn't take 2 steps without somebody stopping.
It was overwhelming.
It was one of the coolest things I've experienced.
Yeah.
Just like getting to meet them.
Yeah.
And like, I know, like Bobby Calderon, Chick Soto, all these guys that are always contributing to the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, I get to give you a hug now.
Yeah.
I went full hug.
Kevin,
I was hugging everything there. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was, I mean, get some sports. I mean, oh my God, the
energy he was bringing.
Cookies.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Jeeves. Adia's silent.
Dude, Jeeves is giant. I had no idea how I want him on. I'm glad he's on my team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, no one talks shit about Silent D.
No, don't fuck with the D.
I'm not going to forget about the Silent D ever again.
Don't fuck with the D.
Well, I've never have, but
no, but it's just like we've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years, almost 3 seasons worth at least.
Yeah.
And I mean, we interact with a lot of you guys online, and Kevin interviews some of you guys for Fan Focus, and it's the best thing ever. But we've never had the chance to not only just interact with you guys face to face, but also all together, like all 3 of us as a Charger Chat podcast, walking through Thunder Alley, getting stopped by everybody. And I can't tell you folks how much that meant to us. It really meant the world.
Yeah,
it was
really
just it was the best way to start the day.
It was unreal.
It was really unreal. I mean, even on the bus, like they were like, "Hey, Charger Chat podcast is here." And we heard from the back somebody going, "K love you high."
Yeah. K love you high. We got a K love you high.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. Time to get out some of these pins.
We started throwing pins on the bus.
Pins all day. Like, let's go.
It was such a crazy feeling because again, like it feels like we're almost kind of talking to the darkness.
Yeah.
Like we're just putting this podcast up because we're just that big of fans. But to actually like get people to come and say like, "Oh, I know who you are."
And we're used to seeing like Twitter accounts and like usernames and like icon pictures.
Yeah.
But the person standing there, and that was another thing that was funny, is everyone thought that we were like 5'6".
It was the craziest thing.
Like, you guys are so tall.
I didn't know you'd be so tall.
Like 6 foot plus, and everyone was like, "I thought you guys were. I didn't know you were going to be this tall."
You only get here.
You only get this. Like,
I'm sorry. It's not 2 little baby legs down here. There's more going on below.
Believe me.
Than you might think.
Believe me, Jesus. But it was so cool. Like, but when we got there, being in Thunder Alley was so unique because it wasn't just Thunder Alley. There were so many Charger fans. Like, took over the pink lot. Like, there were Cowboys fans walking around, but it was, as far as the eye could see, it was tense.
Canopy after canopy of
honestly
Charger fans walking around.
We didn't even get to experience the entirety of Thunder Alley. We were
going to try to meet Jen and Karen,
right?
And on their, we were walking down their little alley, one of like 10 alleys that you could walk, aisles that you could walk down. Yeah. And we didn't even get through the whole aisle. And we were just meeting so many cool people. And then
my hands, if you see pictures, my hands are constantly full of like beer and water and juggling. I'm always just like, hey, like I'm just constantly like clutching like something.
Gifts. We appreciate all of it.
Jello. It was awesome. And also going to the Die Hard Bolt Club, and they gave like a very serious like prayer to the people that we lost.
Like a moment of silence for the soldiers that were lost.
Yeah. And Brian Bolts was the one that did that. And we got to meet Brian Bolts.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
And it's Bolt God. Like it's something that I wish I could do every Sunday and like go and hang out with these people and just spend time, because I felt like, you know, you get rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
We
there's this like
started this.
energy level thing that changed.
We started this when things were relatively normal.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. And so we had a legitimate season that we couldn't interact with anybody. No matter how bad we wanted to, we couldn't do it. And so now this is the first year that we actually get to interact with people. And man, it's just been like we've just been waiting.
Give me a double dose of that, please. I just love Charger fans and walking around the stadium, like getting into the stadium. Like that was all amazing.
Yeah. So we had to walk around halfway to get to Thunder Alley, and then we had to walk the other half.
We took the scenic route.
Yeah, we got a full tour.
Full tour up the outside of SoFi Stadium, which is extremely impressive. Had to stop by Rivers Lake, obviously, because we needed to get over there because you guys can't stop
Rivers Lake.
But yeah, once we walk in,
feeling extra fertile now.
Yeah, we were in a situation.
You need no more fertility.
I don't need any more of that shit.
We were in a situation where we walk in and our seats are right there.
Yeah.
Like you walk in and down, and there you go. You're ready to go.
The Oculus is a spaceship.
Yeah,
that is the first thing.
Spaceship.
You can't, again, like pictures cannot do it justice. Like you walk in and you cannot help but look up and just be like, there's this giant thing floating in
I would say
space.
Monstrosity.
Yeah, it's just this giant spacecraft that's just floating there, and it's like, oh, that's the monitor. That's what we get to look at to watch everything that's happening, and it's really quite impressive. Again, you guys, if you weren't at this home opener, I mean, on the one hand, good, because you saw a terrible loss, but on the other hand, you have not witnessed what is the experience of being in SoFi Stadium, because you've got this Oculus, and like every bit of media that was played on there, like I had that opening that was just like goosebumps.
Yeah,
it was
sure.
chilling.
The Sean Merriman thing.
Sean Merriman getting everybody hyped up.
That was so cool.
And all the video, and then like I don't know, like I've only been to like one Charger game. And I don't recall going to a Charger game where they like were announcing the entire offensive line and the wide receivers.
They had a cool thing where they had like a camera set up. So they're standing in the tunnel, and then the player would look at the camera and then turn and then take off out of the tunnel.
Right.
And I was like,
they're like playing right tackle, Rashawn Slater, and the crowd, just everybody's screaming.
Yeah.
And then like going through the whole offensive line. Like, that's awesome. Like, that was actually kind of cool. Like, let's celebrate these guys.
And then Herbo came out, and I've never heard anything quite like that.
Oh, yeah.
The level of just screams.
Yeah.
I blame the beginning of the end of my
our
voice.
Voices are pretty well shot.
I blame Herbo running out on the field. Because that was awesome.
That was a pretty special experience. And I mean, just the entire game was a special experience because we haven't been in. I don't know what the capacity is of SoFi.
It's over 60,000, something like that.
And it was pretty well full. I don't think it was sold out, but there was people everywhere.
Yeah.
And so to hear everybody screaming in this stadium,
and no matter what people are saying, the averages, I don't care what people are saying in terms of like the fans that showed up.
Right.
We were loud.
Yeah.
It was
Charger
loud.
fans that were there were loud.
I felt like the Cowboy fans that were there were soft as shit, and we were hard as rock.
They were also confused. They started screaming when Dak was on offense.
The Cowboy fans are idiots. They were yelling.
They were on offense. So as Charger fans, we were trying to be loud and disrupt them. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you think you're loud? We're gonna be louder than you." Yeah. And I'm like, okay, help us, thank you.
Dum.
Yeah.
Didn't understand it, but
magical experience. Can't wait to do it again.
100%. Yeah, I mean. We already mentioned, Jen and Karen, Brian Bolts, Get Some Sports, Schick Soto, Bobby Caldrone, Chargers Nerd, Coach Lago, Bolt God, Scott from OC.
Scotty, he is taller than I expected.
He was another taller than expected.
He's taller than us. I was like, oh damn, Scotty's a big dude.
Jeeves, Efren, Bobby, Bryce, Damian. All you guys,
just to name a few.
Yeah, just name a few. If we didn't name your name, I apologize, because it truly, like, going to Thunder Alley,
overwhelming. I felt like I was in a
whirlwind.
I was like a washing machine. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to like, okay, there's Kevin and Kyle. Okay, I got to make. Oh,
Yeah.
there's this guy over here. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, hi,
shit.
let's take a picture. And just like, oh,
Robbie.
God,
Oh,
hey,
shit, Kevin met somebody else over there.
Shot. Okay, oh, we're taking
Kyle's
another
over
shot.
there
Okay,
taking a shot.
shot over here.
What?
It was so much at once. It was really overwhelming. So if we didn't mention you just there, I apologize. It's just there was a lot going on. And all of you that have posted pictures on Twitter and everything like that, that is awesome. Those are memories that I will never forget. Right. And if you haven't tagged us yet, if you posted a picture, if you took a picture that you haven't posted yet, please tag us, Charger Chat.
Please.
We would love that. I mean, I want to make a collage of just all the pictures from our home opener. That was such a great experience. All right, folks. So we understand how the game went. We understand how screwed we got by the refs. But there's just certain, and it's out of our control. Okay, we can't
do anything about it.
Guys make bad calls.
Yeah,
bad.
We can't control anything as fans. Let's be honest.
Honestly, as fans, we got nothing.
We can get
really
loud and slightly distract somebody. That's all we got in our arsenal.
All is within our control, so it's hard
and
to
buy their merch so they make more money.
Yeah,
we did plenty of that.
We did plenty of that.
Oh God, don't even give me that bag. Literally, I needed like insurance on the bag we were walking around with. This.
Thank God for that little season ticket holder discount.
So it all worthwhile. It felt like it was on sale.
It was free. It was dumb not to buy it.
Exactly. You'd be a fool not to. So we understand that there are just certain aspects of this game that, I mean, didn't go our way, and almost to the point that it felt like the game got taken away from us by the refs.
Zebras.
So we're not really going to focus too much on that because we are the Shamelessly Positive podcast. That's what we do here. We've tried to focus on
that is what we do.
We are not looking at the negative. We are looking at the positive. So right now, looking at the positive, PFF came out with a tweet saying that Derwin James is the highest graded safety in the NFL right now per PFF. He is at an 89.9. The highest
PFF grading.
Again, you got to drop
which
that.
I don't know what they're grading.
Does not
bode well for
normally,
Chargers.
add additional weight to Charger players.
Right.
So
I think they have like an algorithm that like takes a few points off of Charger players.
Yeah. So he's probably at like really a 92.
Probably 300. Probably.
Yeah. So that is pretty impressive to know that we had a safety that is graded as high as he is. And again, in this last game, I mean, Chris Harris Jr. was hurt. So, I mean, Derwin
was moved around in different spots. He's still graded extremely
versatile as F.
Because although he played most of the game there, because we ran that too high shell a lot. And Nas played, which was awesome to see that he was still healthy.
Right.
Because we were worried about that going into the game.
Yeah.
So Nas and Alohi were the too high. So Derwin was down in that outside linebacker nickel kind of look. And still graded extremely high. So I think it was week one was more of a true we hope to see him in that kind of role.
Right.
With Chris Harris still in the game, but he adapted and still had a great game. He didn't have like a lot of huge, big impact plays, but I still believe that quarterbacks see him and don't want to throw at him.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they don't.
They avoid it like the plague.
I mean, the one thing from this last game that we all saw was that Dak Prescott did not throw a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean,
our defense is clearly doing something right. I know we get a lot of shade for how our run defense went, but
20 points or less in 2 games.
Look what he did the last game. Yeah. He like threw for 400 yards.
He threw the ball 50 times.
They weren't like our defense is that strong that it's gonna. Coach always says put the top on the receivers, put the top on the coverage.
Right.
They put the top on the coverage, but unfortunately, they were able to run.
Well, I think we just as a fan base, we need to get more used to it. I think the cover 3, you have one high safety, so that means you have another guy in the box. So you take away the run. So what teams do, they throw the ball a lot. That's opposite now. We have 2 high safeties. It's less likely that they're going to see that and say, hey, we should have numbers. Let's run. So I think it's just something we're still adjusting to and getting used to.
Right.
Coach Daly would agree. We heard in his post game, he knows that they did not do good against the run. They took some chances on some slant stuff. We got taken advantage of. We got exploited a little bit. We had some guys out. Justin Jones not in is a big hit. So we do need to do better, absolutely. But I think as a whole, we need to get used to seeing more rush attempts as a defense compared to the last couple of years.
Well, and it's all about the crazy thing is that our offense wasn't able to put up the points they should have.
Yeah, that's what needs to change.
If that is the one thing that needs to change because the defense keeps playing the way they're playing.
If we can keep teams to 20 points,
that's a winning recipe.
You have to win.
Yeah.
You have to win. If you keep a team to 20 points or less, you have to win.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like we said, the very, very beginning of the season, when we looked at the schedule, you look at who we're playing these first 6 weeks. You come out of there 500, or you're in good shape because our record,
3-3, 4-2.
Yeah,
that's a tough.
That sucked. We should have won that. We had it in the.
That's what's hard is we should have won.
And the amount of times I got up and celebrated and turned around and started high fiving people, and then there was one Cowboy fan.
There was one time,
but I couldn't
be like dirty dancing me up with a full extension.
And I had the time of my life.
We did. And then there was this dirty little Cowboy fan, like, and the flag.
You're not. Yeah, look over there. Yeah. But that guy was okay because he had a kid. It was like he brought a shield. He brought his like 12-month-old son or whatever to the game. So I couldn't like get in his face.
Like,
so he'd say whatever he wanted. I'd turn around and be like, I can't do that. I can't
baby
make you look like
hold this baby up in front of it.
Baby. You just like dip over the top like you suck. One step removed.
Yeah. I mean, there was a tweet that came out recently that Michael Peterson put out. The NFL's top 10 offenses by yardage with the points per game. Shockingly, the Raiders are at the top. I can't believe that the Raiders are averaging 458 yards per game.
Can't wait for that to stop.
Yeah, that's
a couple of weeks here. We're gonna get shut that down.
But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down is the Los Angeles Chargers at 430, 416. But we've only put up 18 and a half points per game. That's our average.
Yeah. Everyone else here is well above 20 points.
Oh, everyone below it. KC has 34 and they're like 5 spots below us.
Yeah.
So that is the answer to the problem.
Yeah.
It is not having these weird penalties. It's getting the ball in the end zone. It's, Herbert started off with 3 interceptions, 4 interceptions,
3 interceptions, 2
interceptions. And it's like, that's not great, man. We're still in these games. So it shows you how strong our offense is that he's doing that and we're still in the game. Right. Usually we'd have a turnover. The game was over. We were done. We were down by 7. We can never catch up. Different thing. Seeing him in person, just throw wherever he wanted. I feel like he's a better passer when he's on the run. Like when he's scrambling, bootleg all day long. Go do whatever you want. Run around because he gets more accurate when he's
on the run,
which isn't even possible because he was accurate when he was in the pocket and could stick still. But it was pretty crazy. Our offense was strong. You could just see it. We just could not get that in the end zone.
We're averaging over 400 yards a game in offense.
Right.
Crazy.
And so that's the problem is like once we get in the red zone, it's either going to get turned over, as we've seen in just these two games that we've seen. It's either gotten turned over or the penalties have negated the scores. Right. And we just haven't been able to put those points.
These are things that can be fixed.
They absolutely can be fixed. Yeah. I mean,
this isn't like we have oh my God, the boat is shipping. Like,
I think it's not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of inadequate scheme. It's nothing like that. It's just cleaning crap up and getting going. And this may go back to the idea they're not playing in the preseason. There's a little bit like we took the health advantage, which we have still,
right?
But we gave up some of the sloppiness that you get out of your way in the preseason,
right?
Yeah, that could be the shamelessly positive take is we're getting some of that sloppiness out of the way here early, and we're still healthy now through 2 games. So let's go. And now we've gotten out of our way. That's your normal preseason snaps. Let's go make stuff happen.
We're gonna get better.
Yeah, I think that was one of the interesting takes. I mean, we had the Duggins dad pick us up after we got home from the bus. And one of the things that he said that I did kind of find interesting was that in regards to not having the preseason,
Coach Senior,
is that it's not so much about like, not getting guys, used to getting banged up in football and stuff like that. It's about that timing, getting that timing down. Like, cause you can time all you want in practice, but it's actually getting out in the game and getting that timing down when you have a defender that's trying to get at you.
Yeah, not just playing soft. Make sure you're not hurting the other person. Yeah.
So 100%. I thought that was kind of interesting. So there's obviously a give and take with not playing in the preseason. I thought that was an interesting take from Coach Senior.
Sure.
Looking over at some of the players, we did see Kenneth Murray go down. And it scared the hell out of us.
Scared the shit. We were like, it was so weird being in person. Like, who went down?
Yeah.
Who went down? And then Kyle was like, Popper. Like, I was like, we need binoculars. He's like, don't worry about it. We got Popper.
Dude, Popper had it up on his Twitter before anyone in the stadium.
As soon as it happened.
Yeah. It was instant. I got a notification. Kenneth Murray's down before we even came back from the commercial break.
Right. Yeah. So Kenneth Murray went down, scared us for a hot
Came back,
second.
though.
Came back again, and Austin Eckler took a hit to the head.
Yeah,
that scared us as well
Personal
because,
foul,
like, boy, his
penalty.
mouth guard just like fell out of his mouth. Like,
Yeah,
I
he
was
got
just like,
popped.
oh,
When he got
Jesus.
hurt at the end of the last season too, remember he got popped pretty hard there. So we don't want any concussion.
what a catch!
Oh, that was the one-handed catch.
One-handed,
Yeah, that was
and
a
took the hit,
beautiful.
held onto the ball.
Yeah,
I love that
was
guy. We are
absolutely impressive.
We are so lucky to have him. Such a
Incredibly.
stud.
So those were the two that we saw in person. That was just like, oh, holy cow.
Yeah.
But apparently Joey Bosa also got kind of a little rolled up on or something. Apparently from Fernando Ramirez, Chargers edge rusher. Joey Bosa says about his leg being wrapped up after the game. I rolled my ankle. It is feeling a bit sore. Nothing serious.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that during the game. That was
It's hurt, not injured. It's one of those things in football. Everyone gets hurt. Injured, you're out. You're out for a while, but everyone has to play through hurt.
Yeah,
exactly.
17 games.
I just wish Joey would have got to the quarterback a little bit more, but they weren't really throwing.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem. And where they weren't in obvious passing situations where you can just pin your ears back and go.
Yeah.
Well, part of what makes Joey so good against the run is he doesn't just fly upfield. He's making that read that first two steps and then goes. He didn't have a lot of clear goes and long yardage situations.
Right. He kind of got like in on one of those sacks.
Yeah,
that was
the sacks that Tillery and Derwin were credited for. He got his hand on Dak so he can get the ball out.
Right.
So he definitely contributed. And in the run, he's solid.
Yeah. So there's all that going on, and then we got a chance to listen to the post game from the coach. There was a couple audio bites here that kind of stood out to us. So let's go to them.
I felt like what I told him was that last week we won that game as a team, and today we lost the game as a team. And I'm proud of that because we were in it in the fourth quarter against a really good team. There was a lot to unpack in that game, number one. Okay, there was a lot that happened in that game. And we stayed together, and we had a chance in the fourth quarter. Okay, and there wasn't anybody on our sideline, Gilberto, that did not believe that we were going to win. And that's a big part of the NFL. The other part of the NFL is you're going to lose tight games like this because most of the games against really good teams come down to the end, and we lost the tight one today. Okay. And so what we need to do is learn why we lost and then be able to come back tomorrow, get rested up. Okay. And learn from it. But I was proud of the way we competed in the game. Okay. And when you're brand new, you're trying to get guys to compete the way you want them to, which we are. Now we got to execute better. And that's where our focus will be moving forward.
So I think that's the thing that we also kind of have to remind ourselves is that this is an entirely new coaching staff. Almost half of this team is brand new, as it wasn't with the Chargers last year. So I'm not saying that you got to like forgive this loss. The loss still sucks.
Yeah.
Right? You can't ignore that. But to understand that like these guys are still trying to find their groove.
Yeah.
Like even that Washington win got a little hairy.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't an easy win.
Right.
It was like we barely got past that.
We're improving in areas.
Right.
Every week, special teams gets better.
Right.
You miss a kick, that doesn't mean your special teams isn't getting better.
Right.
It's going to be a slow incremental growth. The players, we have great players and great coaching staff.
Right.
So now it's just making sure all the pistons are firing correctly.
Right.
All the pistons are there. We don't need to replace any of those.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just getting them all firing at the right time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the Raiders. The Raiders start strong every year, like they did this year. But in the back of your mind, you know they're going to fall
And
apart.
then the Pinto engine falls apart and
Yeah.
it takes a
The
shit.
Pinto engine blows up. And
Yeah.
then the back of the car and everything goes to shit.
Right.
Got to call AAA.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Derek Carr gets a hangnail and he can't play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta get everything dialed in. We had players that didn't play this last game, like Chris Harris, Justin Jones, who didn't play it. And apparently, I mean, those are really crucial spots.
Right.
You know, you got Derwin James now playing a position that he can't necessarily be 100% Derwin.
Yeah.
Like he's got to be in this
and
position.
the idea of the run defense, right? When you're at a high safety, you can make plays to both sides of the field.
Right.
You can have a big impact on the run. When he's down there in the box, if they run away from him, there's nothing he can do.
Right.
So-
he can only do so much.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just changes. It changes everything. I think it's hard to be patient, but I do think I still have the utmost confidence in our staff to get this thing turned around and get back going in the right direction.
Right.
Just the way
we're 2 games into a 17 game season.
There's a lot to go. There's a lot to
Right.
get frustrated by, but there's also a lot to be excited about.
Right.
And I'm more excited about the things than I am frustrated.
Right.
So it's just keeping that perspective, staying positive, and then we're going to get there. I have total confidence.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. There was another soundbite here. Let's take a listen.
Well, I think the glass is 100% realistic. Okay. I'm always going to be optimistic because that's who I am. But I'm also going to tell the guys the truth. And the truth is that we didn't play well enough today. That's the truth. We did not play a clean enough game, and take the outside circumstances away from the game, because I don't want that to be the focus. I want the focus to be on the Chargers, and we didn't play clean enough football to win. And then, when you put it that way, now you can focus on yourself and you can figure it out moving forward.
So I think shamelessly optimistic podcast.
Is it hard to believe that maybe Coach has been listening to our podcast?
Maybe shamelessly
is that
positive,
too far of a reach?
Shamelessly optimistic.
No.
Yeah, the shamelessly positive, shamelessly optimistic. It feels
Awesomistic.
like optimistic.
I will be awesomistic.
Awesomistic.
No, but yes, optimistic.
Good title.
No, that was classic. I know it was a fumble, but it was a good fumble. And
it was good.
We recovered that fumble.
Me and my brother have been in the same place for too long.
Nothing will get by.
Only so many Duggins can coexist in the same house for so long.
I mean, I think the thing that I love about that is just, I mean, he is being shamelessly positive, but he's also being shamelessly realistic.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he's not saying, he's not giving like fluff answers.
Yeah.
He's giving like, hey guys, I saw the game as well.
Yeah.
And I'm aware what happened out there, but he's also saying like, I'm not worried about the refs.
Yeah.
I mean, they committed over 16 penalties. And like you said, I think on the ride home, that like you can't commit 16 penalties without at least a lot of them being like legit penalties.
Yeah.
Like those aren't all bad penalties.
It's like call them ticky tack, but they were penalties.
Right.
You could have not done that.
Yeah.
Do they call that most of the time? No. But you didn't have to do it. They would have called it if you didn't do it.
Exactly.
Sure. And it's like you were saying, like the shamelessly optimistic. I feel like that's what we try to do here on this podcast.
Right.
Last year when Coach Lynn started doing dumb bullshit like calls, we're like, no, that's not real football. That's not how a head coach acts. I'm not just going to overlook things that are blatant.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm still going to be optimistic about what opportunities our team has moving forward.
And it also felt like I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Coach Lynn because we did love Coach Lynn.
We did, dude. We were homers.
It took us to the playoffs for a hot minute.
Yeah.
But it always felt like he never accepted the blame for anything that was going on. Or he would just pass kind of the buck.
Or fire a special teams coordinator.
Or take over special teams.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like Brandon Staley's just going like, I am focused on the Chargers and making us better. We need to execute better. And that's what we're going to focus on. Like, it's not about like, again, like you just said, like, it's not about we have bad players. Right. You just got to calibrate this shit.
Calibrate that shit
right where it
100%.
needs to be. Yep. And that's what they're going to focus on this week. They're going to take a rest day, get shit back in order, and then we're going to focus on executing better.
And smashing the shit out of the Chiefs.
Because again, this is a new team with new coaching staff. We all want that we were just going to come out of this like, because he is the Wunderkind.
Wunderkind.
He is going to just be a wizard with this team.
17-0.
Right, 17-0.
You're a wizard, Brandon. You're a wizard.
Right.
You're a wizard.
Obviously, we've got some kinks to work out, and it is what it is. Like,
work them out now. Let's get really badass.
Just
don't blow these games in the playoffs.
Or 17. Like, let's fix this shit week 2.
Win these division games. Win this Chiefs game. Win this Raiders game.
Exactly.
Let's fucking go.
Right. Yeah, these next couple of games are going to be extremely important, especially that we saw that Kansas City lost their game. We're now tied.
Wasn't that a sweet little treat to come home?
Yeah.
The night sucked, and we all were sitting here in the living room in Kyle's living room watching the football game, and it was like, oh, Chiefs just lost.
We have the same record as the Chiefs.
Took the edge off of the defeat.
It really did. It took it rounded that edge a little bit, a little less blunt.
Yeah.
Forced trauma on that.
So
edge.
we go against the Chiefs next week. It's going to be obviously a pretty tough game. We're coming off of a loss. They're coming off of a loss. We're all going to be fired up to see these guys play.
And I do want to say I'm going to be there. With my wife and my 6-year-old. So if you see me at the game, we have some pins left over. K-Love You High is still in effect. K-Love You High.
Play.
And before we move on, we've got one more little sound clip here from Justin Herbert. Let's see what he had to say at the post game.
We've got 15 more weeks. We've got 15 more opportunities to play football, and we've got another game on Sunday against a really good opponent. And so we've got to watch the film. We can be salty about it for a couple of hours, but it's time to get back to work.
See that? Salty.
I mean, Justin Herbert must be listening to our podcast as well, because he's real. I mean, it's great to see what a young quarterback he is, how much of a leadership role he's taking, and also being that person that's able to take a step back from the bigger picture, going like, yeah, today
go ahead,
sucked.
Go cry in your pillow for a little bit. It's
fun. A couple hours, but take a step back and realize we've got 15 more games to play.
Right,
a lot of football left, a lot of games to play. We are shamelessly positive here, folks. That's what we do here at the Charger Chat podcast, and so is Justin Herbert. He recognizes that we got
more games to play.
This isn't the end of the season. It just sucks because it's the home opener.
Yeah.
It's the first time fans are able to go to SoFi Stadium. We wanted to walk away with a win. We saw that, Buccaneers, beat Dallas, and we thought that, hey, we saw the performance from the offensive line last week. Storm Norton's able to stop Chase Young from ever getting to Justin Herbert. He was just a non-factor in that Washington football game. So it's just like, hey, we're walking into this. Dallas Cowboys, they're all, injured. We should walk away with a win. And it felt like we beat ourselves. Yeah. We didn't execute, as Brandon Staley said, and it just didn't go our way. It is what it is. Let's move on.
Moving on. Guess what? Hey, guys, want a high five on that? Let's move on.
Move on, big bye.
Let's go.
All right. And also just a reminder, folks, if you want some sweet Charger Chat merch, like these sweet shirts we have here, go to chargerchat.com, check out some of the stuff we've got there. And also don't forget to check out, we have a members section.
Well, the chat over there is real fun.
It's pretty it's shamelessly positive.
It is. And optimistic.
Yes. We've already had a lot of you guys reaching out, and group chats have already started. So please feel free to head on over to chargerchat.com. We will start hitting up some of our members for fan focus interviews in the future. And it's just a great old time over at chargerchat.com.
Coming out.
Just coming out on the shameless
warm. Come inside.
That's right.
Everyone's welcome.
We keep it warm. All right, folks. Well, now it's time to head on over to Coach's Corner. That guy right there.
Hey.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
All comes down to today.
You take this helmet and you put it right in his numbers, okay? I want to see nothing but snot bubbles in his nose.
A lot of people want to blame coaches for a lot of things.
Nobody puts coaches
straight up.
in
And we shut them down because we can't.
It's because I believed in you.
And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but it just wouldn't be our style.
Let's do it.
That's right, folks. It's time for another edition of Coach's Corner. And we reach
in person, live,
looking at two knuckleheads.
Look at you two knuckleheads.
As we break down some of these plays from the previous game, and we reach into the bag of questions and pull one out from Rat Human.
Certified
Fresh. Who asked the question, will we get fucked by the refs each week?
Get to the chopper.
It's not the Puma. All right. Yes. Dude. Okay. So, I mean, if anything,
will we get fucked every week?
If anything has been consistent from one week to the next, is it feels like we get these bad calls from the ref. What at least appears to be a bad call.
Yeah.
And this last game, I mean, it seemed to be double because we had two scores negated by penalties. So, Coach, will it be every week? Is it going to happen?
Look. Coach's Corner is not here to read into the future.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have any crystal balls or fancy cards. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I do know we got fucked this week. We did.
Yeah.
Proper fucked. So I'm going to look at the three plays that I think were the most egregious. The first one that I had pulled up here, it wasn't a touchdown. The other two were touchdowns that got called back. But this one was just, even on a broadcast, Tony Romo, who I think all of us love to hear as a
podcast. Yeah.
You know, it's like the Mannings on ESPN2 on Monday night.
Watch that if you haven't, by the way. Gotta watch that.
You're getting a guy that's actually calling football and not just calling commentary. He's
and not just kissing the league, not trying to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to talk ill of the referee.
They're super wealthy. They don't need to worry about
They're like, look, I'm going to come on. I'm going to be a broadcaster. So I got to talk about football.
Right.
Yeah. So this first play with Oday Abushi, like it's just not good. Like it's just a very ticky-tack call.
Okay. Yeah.
So from the line of scrimmage, when we go to pass, there's certain people that are eligible to go downfield. Mm-hmm. You can't just have all 10 go downfield and Herbert pick who he wants to throw to. It's not like backyard football. So if you're covered up on the line of scrimmage, you're ineligible. And that's always going to be your center and your guards. Those three are always, no matter what, ineligible.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a guy on the line of scrimmage here and here, that means anyone inside of them is ineligible. So that's just our 5 offensive linemen. Those guys cannot go downfield on a pass. They can't go downfield whatsoever. And downfield in the NFL is classified as 3 yards. So here's the line of scrimmage, is the blue line. This is 1, 2, 3. So if anyone goes past the 40 at any time in the play before the quarterback releases the ball, it's an illegal man downfield. And that's a 5-yard penalty. And that's what they called us on here on Ode Ibushi. He went, and it was just such an insignificant thing. One, from the Chargers' perspective, from our offensive line, Ibushi had no need to hit this guy last second. It didn't affect the play. The ball was about to be released. It had no impact on the actual play that happened. And I'll play it here so you can see it. But it had no impact. But on the grand scheme of the momentum of the game, it was huge. Right before the half, we missed a field goal that would have tied it up.
Yeah.
It would have been 14-14 going into half.
Right.
Big momentum buster. But what did everyone in the stands like, oh, well, we get the ball in the second half. We'll just go down and score and tie it up again.
Yep.
All right, we'll go down and we'll score a touchdown.
Yeah.
We're going to go, we got the ball, so everything's okay. We have the momentum. But then you have a penalty like this that it negates a huge pickup that would have been that momentum shift that could have turned this into a 20-point victory.
Right.
That I think was negated because of a really, really dumb call by the officials that was very ticky-tack, unnecessary. So you'll see Ibushi. He's right here. Look, this is the line of scrimmage, right? He's still on the line of scrimmage.
Right.
But Justin still has the ball.
Right.
But we're over here and watch as he continues just to engage. Now the ball's gone. So as you see, look, they're on the line of scrimmage. Remember, he had to get all the way to the 40. So he gets that one little hit. Now he's creeping up to the 40-yard line. So he had barely just gotten there, and they decided to throw the flag. It's almost as if they were staring at someone on the offensive line.
Yeah, right, just waiting for one of
they
them
got
to
past
screw up.
it.
Yeah.
You know, like he had to get all the way to that 40-yard line to create an illegal man downfield.
Right.
And he just barely touched it with the tippy toe, and they called it, which, man, it was just such a big momentum play. It wasn't a touchdown, but that would have put us first and 10 at the 30-yard line of Dallas.
Sure.
It was just a huge, huge momentum play.
Now, I mean, for that penalty to exist, was that just something that like quarterbacks were just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to throw it to one of my linemen because they're far enough away, they're 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage that like, if I got to make a play and all my wide receivers are covered, like I'm just going to throw it to one of my linemen? Is that the reason for the penalty?
Well, the player's ineligible anyways. You can't go downfield as to block. Like you can't go down there and when a receiver catches the ball, a lineman's there to create a block.
Okay.
So it just kind of levels out the playing field. And these guys are here to do this. They can't just fly downfield. Now, if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage like a screen, your linemen are allowed to go.
Okay.
And that's why you run those screens, that you can get your linemen to be an impact blocking
once the
downfield.
ball's out of the quarterback's hands, linemen can go wherever
they want.
Okay.
They're not the fastest of individuals, so they're not going super far.
Okay.
But they have to wait until the ball's
when you're
out.
getting pressure, Justin Herbert's still trying to make a decision of who he wants to throw the ball to. They got to hit.
The other time that this really comes into play, and it's a new offensive scheme, is the RPO, the run pass option.
Mm-hmm.
So when the quarterback snaps the ball and he's reading to see if he wants to pull it and throw, the linemen are blocking for run because they don't know if the quarterback's going to pull it and throw.
Right.
They're blocking run. So if those guys go too fast up to the second level and they get past 3 yards, and the quarterback's still holding onto the ball to throw it and he throws it late, those linemen are be downfield. And the NFL has probably told these officials, hey, we need to start enforcing the illegal man downfield because with the RPO, it's becoming very difficult for the defense.
Interesting.
This was not an RPO.
Mm-hmm.
Now if the league had said, hey, guys, start watching it, make sure that you're throwing flags on these illegal man downfields. This is not what they were hoping to see.
No, this wasn't the point of it.
This is not it. This is a lineman that lunged last second to just get a little pop on a guy.
Right.
Call a personal foul if you want.
Sure.
But the illegal man downfield was just the focus is to stop the RPO, where they can fake run, pull. The linemen are downfield. Now they pass the ball. That's what. If there was an emphasis on trying to stop this from happening, that's why. Okay. Not because of a play like
that's
this.
Interesting. Okay.
So we may have become the victim of the NFL trying to stop something, not this, and the officials looking out for it. Okay, so the second penalty, these next two are touchdowns. So these are big, obvious game impacting, huge momentum shifting plays. So this is a big touchdown pass to Donald Parham. It's obviously 36-yard touchdown pass. That's a big time play. They end up calling, and it's 14-14. This is still tight. Into the third quarter, we were just fighting back and forth. The third quarter, we had the ball the whole time. We scored 3 points, but so this is a huge penalty. They end up calling, as I run the clip, watch right here. They end up calling a hold on Cook. They end up saying that he held on to Leighton Vander Esch as he was trying to rush. So you'll see he tried to fight inside, and then he tries to come outside as Justin Herbert leaks. What makes it look like a hold is Larry Roundtree in the backfield hits Vander Esch in the back. So it looks as though Jared Cook had pulled him down with his right hand to stop him. But in reality, he didn't pull him down. He had his hand engaged, but Roundtree hit him in the back, and it made it look like a hold. But if you go back and watch what happened in slow motion, they show it in slow-mo after the fact. Watch it in first time, in fast, live motion. It looks like it could potentially be a hold. Jared Cook engages, pushes. It looks like he rips his jersey down, and it could be a hold. Donald Parham scores a touchdown. We're all dirty dancing, celebrating in the stands. And the Cowboys are taunting that, there's a flag. And they will go back and show here the penalty. What happened is we just got unlucky with the way that it looked, not what actually happened on the field. It looked as though Jared Cook pulled him down when in reality, Larry Roundtree just kind of stumbled into his back, and it looked as though Jared Cook had pulled him down. They'll show the replay really quick after McCarthy stops complaining to the ref about a lucky penalty that he got. I don't know what he's
taking time to stop eating his hot dog.
Here it is right here. He has his engaged, no hold. Roundtree throws a block, gets hit, looks like he pulled him down. But there's never any jersey pull. There's never anything malicious. There's no pull whatsoever. The guy just got double teamed, so he wasn't able to make the play. That ended up costing us 6 points. What could have been the game-winning touchdown in the third quarter.
Such bullshit.
Wow. So, I mean, the question is, do we think that this is going to happen every week? I mean,
there's no way to know that is like, as I watched it back, I was like, okay, I could see in real time why the official thought that, but
it's still the wrong call.
It's a fluke. It was the wrong call. It was a fluke call.
The perfect situation of a player on getting hit by another player.
Looking like he was pulled down.
Yeah.
But it was not a hold. Even the broadcasters are like, man, that's ticky-tack. That's a tough call to make. And the final one we'll look at is the illegal shift. And there's been a lot of talk about this. So I'm going to stop it before we even get to the line of scrimmage and kind of explain what it means to have an illegal shift. So first off, obviously you have your 5 linemen. They have to be set. Everyone has to come to a full stop when they get to the line of scrimmage. Before you shift, before you motion, everyone has to be set. Now, if you're not all set and somebody motions or shifts, that's okay, but then everyone has to get set. There has to be a 1 second instance where all 11 players stop moving. So that's where this call became very difficult, is there's not a 1 second time that every player is set. So I'll start to play it. I want you to keep your eyes up here on these two, Guyton and Mike Williams. It's almost as if they knew they weren't involved in the play. They weren't really worried about getting up to the line of scrimmage. So as we start, you'll see right about now, Justin is looking. You can see his eyes. He's looking over here at Jared Cook. He's about to send him in motion. These two guys are never set when that motion starts. So as he starts to motion, they're still moving. And again, he's motioning right now. You'll see Mike Williams take another step. He's moving again. So that is an illegal motion. If two guys are moving at the same time, if one guy moves, that's fine. He can be moving, you snap the ball, you go. Mm-hmm. If more than one guy is moving, you have to then stop and everyone gets set again. Because you'll see a tight end shift with a running back and a receiver, and they all go to the other side. But then they get stopped and they get set. The problem is Mike Williams was moving before his motion and during his motion. So as he's moving, now right now, if Justin knew that Mike Williams moved, he would just let Jared Cook get set. wait 1,000, and then go, and it's no penalty. But because of that extra movement, now it's an illegal shift. It was just so insignificant. It had no effect on the play, didn't do anything. But as I run the playthrough one more time, watch Mike Williams. It's almost as if he knew he did something wrong. When the ball snapped, he doesn't even get off the ball.
Wow.
So he either knew he wasn't involved in the play or he knew that he did something wrong. Damn. So we did 100%. We committed the foul. The penalty is real. We were moving two people at once and never got reset for a second. Again, I just think it's a very ticky-tack thing that was just it didn't affect the play. It didn't matter. But like Coach Staley said, we were not clean. Just don't do it.
Right.
Don't give them the opportunity to call the ticky-tack.
Right.
Just play a clean football game. So I think we got screwed on the first two. The third one definitely was a penalty, but I just think that it's just an insignificant matter.
It's not like anybody's at home going, wait, illegal shit. Wait,
right.
he did. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
man.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's nobody's looking at that.
Right.
Again, I mean, most of us, when we're watching football, we're following the ball.
Right.
And so for a ref to single out these two guys because they took a step in back and then just didn't do anything.
It sucks. It really does suck. But that play we messed up. Yeah. Mike Williams should not have been moving.
Right.
Even if you know you're not in the play, go get lined up and stop moving.
Just be a statue.
Stay there.
Don't be the problem.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It sucks.
It sucks. So all right. Well, there you go, Rat Human. We took a look at your questions, certified fresh, broke it down for you. Hopefully this isn't something we see every week. Hopefully this is just, not having those preseason games and not getting in that mindset that
positive take
we
that we're
can't do this stuff. Yeah. We have to follow the rules. I mean, in our case, because they're so ticky-tacky, we have to be excellent at execution. We cannot screw up one way or the other. Right. Otherwise, the refs will find a reason.
Yeah.
But you look at these tiny little things. These are tiny little things that can be fixed. I'm gonna go out there on a limb and say that this is not going to happen again this season.
No more illegal shift?
This way will not happen.
Okay.
I have a strong feeling this is going to be drilled into them this week because that's just an easy thing to not do.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But folks, it's time to move on to our next segment. It's Fan Focus, and we've got a great one lined up. Let's see who it is.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are incredibly lucky to have the one and only captain of our ship, Senor Snappy. What is going on, Senor Snappy?
What's going on, Huggin? Good to see you finally.
Good to meet you, brother. This is so awesome for us, and we'll get into the specifics of how we actually really got connecting on social media. But let's start off the way we start off every Fan Focus, man. How did you become a Charger fan?
I've always been a Charger fan. Just like Rivers Lake has always been Rivers Lake, I have always been a Charger fan. There's never been another football team as far as I'm concerned. I don't really care who they're playing. I don't care who's on the field. I don't care who else is doing what in the NFL, the AFL, the XFL, any of that. It's really just about the Bolts for me.
I love it, man. So how did you become a Charger fan? Where are you at, and how did you find them?
Well, I am in the magical city of San Diego, which is, I think, where Senor Snappy should be.
Senor Snappy belongs.
I've always been a Charger fan, no matter where I've lived. I haven't always been able to attend in person. So this is my first year being a season ticket holder, at least as far as this area is concerned. And it's always been a part of my life. I am new to the area, though, I will admit. And so I never had any Chargers fans as friends. I've always been in enemy territory until now. And now I'm feeling so much warmth that I'm starting to even wear yellow, which is not my color, as you can see. But I think it works now because there's so much enthusiasm and positivity with Justin Herbert, with Coach Staley, with the Charger Chat podcast. Everything is right for us right now. This is our year.
Absolutely, man. Yellow looks good on you, man. I think it's your color.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. Rivers Lake. There was a man, I'm looking at him right now, who is the reason why that became a big deal on Google and all of the things that we want Rivers Lake to be comes from you. So tell us how that came about and how rad that is, please.
Well, I got tired of this whose house, our house thing from this other team, these other co-renters in this, establishment. And I'm just thinking, well, this is as much our house as it is anyone else's. And it occurred to me, with this generic branding they've got around there, no one's bothered to name the lake. Well, we should name the lake, don't you think?
Yeah.
And so my plan is that, first of all, Rivers Lake needs to be permanent. It needs to be acknowledged by the NFL media. It needs to have a permanent marker that the Rams, the Chargers, nobody can take down. City of Inglewood needs to recognize it. The whole country and the whole world need to recognize it. That's Rivers Lake. It's always been Rivers Lake. And then there, we can honestly name anything we want. We can own anything we want. It's all about in the mind, Chargers fans.
I love it. And man, some of the descriptions of Rivers Lake it's just comedy gold. So how does it feel to be, having named the lake essentially, and then also to find out that we have so many comedians that are Charger fans?
Oh, I always knew that we were full of comedians. There was never any doubt.
We gotta have a sense of humor, man. We're Charger fans. Gotta have a sense of humor.
I'm happy that I could give everybody something to laugh about and something to own and to enjoy. It's always ours now. This is always for us.
I love it. And before we go on, I know you got some sweet shirts that people can get. So where can we get these awesome shirts?
Yeah, riverslake.org,
Did you really do riverslake.org?
Yep, riverslake.org. Join the Rivers Lake Yacht Club, baby.
Oh my God.
We got room for the Charger Chat. We got room for 3 more on this boat.
Go get a riverslake.org t-shirt. You need to wear one because that's just how it rolls. Bring the old with the new, and a very fertile lake that is gonna, breed Charger fans for years to come.
At least in December, it's gonna be pretty good every year.
It's where he does his best work. So
the lake, that's when the lake really comes into its own.
Absolutely. So, all right, man. So let's get into this real quick. Wasn't the most fun thing to watch, but losing to the Cowboys. What were your kind of thoughts on the game? If you can spin them positively, we'd appreciate it. If not, we understand. And what are you most looking forward to going up against the Chiefs?
I had a great time, and I think that's one thing that I'm really bringing into this year. And I hope everybody that's watching this and the Bolt fam really brings in, just enjoy yourself this year. Just let's have a good time being together, having some drinks, falling over into the lake, helping some other people fall over into the lake.
Get pregnant.
There was just so much to love. As far as what I didn't like about the game, I'll probably leave that to some others to come up with that. I'm sure you're going to spend the rest of the show talking about all the mistakes that were made. I mean, it's a bummer to see so many penalties committed. It's a bummer to see touchdowns get called back. But I think that Staley is going to bring the attitude to get us over that stuff and to not let us dwell on that. So as fans, we can't dwell on that either. We gotta dwell on what we have, which is we have each other. And now we got part of the stadium that no one else can claim, right?
I love it, man. I'm same page. Like it was so weird for us because we went in so meeting everyone at the tailgate, and just the love, man. Like the love overpowered the sadness at the end of that game. Like I still walked out with my brethren. So, it's all about family, man. And we're going to get these wins. They're coming. They're going to come in bunches. And there's a lot of games left, a lot of season left.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are really a big part of what's making the Chargers special right now and why it's going to be a special year. So I just want to shout out to the 3 of you doing a wonderful job. I really appreciate it. And before you let me go, I want to give a couple shout outs because it is my wife's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
So Abby, happy birthday.
Senor Snappy.
Yeah, this is Senor Snappy. That's right.
Senor Snappy.
Yep. Yeah. And a couple of shouts out to the Rivers Lake Yacht Club, which I hope the 3 of you will become members soon. And
immediately.
Sports, there's a couple of Bolt fam that drive the better part of a full day to make it to the games, win or lose. And that is something special. We know we've got something going on here.
Absolutely, man. It's inspiring, and it's just fun to be around like-minded individuals. Like you said, we don't always get to be around Charger fans, and now we got this, and it's just going to be so much fun. So, man,
we can't moving back. What's going on with that?
That's a good question. I want nothing more than to head back, but it's not. I don't think it's in the potato cards, the Idaho cards, or the Missouri cards. But hey, gotta look at it a shamelessly positive way. I am there in Missouri to make life hell for Chiefs fans. That's my goal. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
I love that. Yeah. We need that. So we need that for the next game too. Is there any way that you can influence the Chiefs to lose this next game?
I will be at the game, and I will do my absolute best to bring the thunder down upon these silly Chiefs fans.
That is a great plan. I love it.
Well, I've loved meeting you, Senor Snappy. You're awesome, bro. And let's keep it going. And everyone listening, go check out riverslake.org. Get that sweet, sweet shirt. And let's rep some Rivers Lake the rest of the season.
Awesome. Love you guys. Take care.
Take it easy, man. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Happy birthday, Senorita Snappy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Senorita Snappy. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, Senor Snappy, dude! What a pleasure to have you on the podcast. The guy who
famous.
He's
for
famous.
naming Rivers Lake.
Riverslake.org. Go buy a T-shirt because I'm going to go do it right now.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, we got to get our yacht club going over at Rivers Lake. Oh man, what a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thanks.
That is
buddy.
so damn cool.
Yeah.
Like it just bringing in. Getting that fan connection. I mean, we get it through the podcast, which is awesome. I love having you guys on here, but like when we actually get to see you guys in person, like we just did this last game, that makes it so much sweeter.
And for him, because he isn't around Charger fans, and now he's feeling like a part of the community. Like, that's what this is all about, man.
Yeah,
so let's go.
We love having you here.
Thanks, buddy.
Happy. Thank you for coming on. All right, folks. Well, now it's time for our next segment. It's time for the Craig Experience.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
I'm gonna have to stay hydrated for this one. Not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do because it was only week 2. Bars. CC gang. Big salute. And to the rest of the boat fam, what's going on? It's your guy Craig in Texas, unfortunately, amongst Cowboys fans. Welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. Yikes. Let me just get straight to it. That was probably the weirdest game I've seen in quite some time. The Chargers did a bunch to shoot themselves in the foot, let's be honest. But adding on to that, there were a ton of egregious penalties called, and I'm talking about like they were doing the whole letter of the law thing. Some of it, again, by the rules made sense, but a bunch of those calls you just don't see and they don't make. But for some reason, this week, they decided that it was going to be a thing. And then they also kind of made up a call in the middle of the game. You know the one I'm talking about, the sack on Justin Herbert. But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like I said, the Chargers kind of came undone in a few scenarios, and they left points on the board, and you're not going to win games settling for 3 when you get into the red zone. That's generally a recipe for disaster, especially when you're not doing a great job stopping the other team's offense from scoring, particularly in the run game. Overall, offensively, there were some really good moments. A lot of them were kind of like doused by horrible penalties. Some earned, some not at all. Justin Herbert had a rough game. If you look at the statistics, he's over 300 yards passing. But he also had 2 picks, both going to Keenan. The first one was kind of, depending on the angle you looked at it, Keenan ran the route kind of flat, and Justin still tried to put it on him. Diggs got a really good jump on the ball. So it is what it is. The second one, Keenan slips. And honestly, I still don't like the pass because it looks like it could have ended up being a hospital ball anyway. Someone was closing in. At least Keenan would have had a chance to make the catch, though. So, there's that. The running game, it actually had some life, particularly with Austin Eckler. That dude's a warrior. Size be darned. He's got all heart. Aside from running tough, that one-handed catch he made was spectacular. And then to hold on to it after taking a shot to the head, that's saying something. I know he got nicked up Hopefully he's okay going in the next week because he's clearly a key cog in the offense and we need him. And speaking of key cogs, Mike Will has found new life in this offense. He looks really good. And they're utilizing him in the way that they should. He's a bigger body. So, they're giving him opportunities to catch the ball over the middle, body guys up, not always looking for him to catch balls downfield, which, he's not a big separator. And they figured that out. Storm Norton, really, really rough. Micah Parsons was whooping him all game long. Same inside move, by the way. And it didn't seem like the staff was really interested on giving him a lot of help, not a lot of chips, or, Austin or whoever the back is staying in to assist in protection a ton. So that's got to get cleaned up. You guys might have seen what I'm thinking they should do in regards to some movement on the offensive line moving forward, but just an idea. I'm talking about Brandon Hymas, left guard, Matt Filer, right tackle. Just a thought, something to consider. Defensively, and red zone. We got to get the ball in the end zone again. The red zone efficiency this is 2 weeks in a row. Got to figure that out. Touchdowns are key. You got to have those. Defensively, we all knew what the game plan was for Dallas. They were going to run the ball. And our interior defensive line it needs some work. I think we missed Justin Jones. He's a serviceable run defender. And maybe activating Forrest Merrill might have been a not so bad idea. Just saying. I can tell you what is a bad idea, though. Jerry Tillery. Not going to dive any deeper in that. Again, sure, he's a nice guy. But as far as what he's producing on the football field, I'm not seeing it. And I'm close to giving him that title with the capital B. We all know what that is. If anybody can get anything out of him, is Brandon Staley. So fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best moving forward. But yikes. It's looking kind of spooky right now. But as far as the positives on defense, Asante Samuel Jr. is a freaking hound, man. Like, he's got all of his dad's characteristics. He is a playmaker. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's been around the ball and made a play on it and been a part of a turnover. And also, for all those Cowboys fans out there who were talking about, well, who's going to defend CeeDee Lamb? Who's going to stop Amari Cooper? Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I believe ASJ spent a lot of time on Cooper, and that resulted in 3 catches for 24 yards. And I think the CeeDee Lamb numbers were like 6-7 catches for like 80 some odd yards. But a lot of that came on that one really weird play before halftime. So, I mean, granted, the Cowboys didn't really need the passing game that much, but for what it's worth, the defense played pretty well. Michael Davis had some rough spots here and there. He gets caught peeking in the backfield a bunch and is really susceptible to like double moves. So you got to improve upon that. As far as special team goes, not a lot to glean from it, except on field goal. They got to do something about protection on the right side. There was someone coming free almost every time. And I know that was kind of affecting Vizcaino's kicks. He missed one, which there was a face mask penalty on, but I mean, it didn't count, but technically still a miss. But hey, a couple things to take away from this. This was really cool. I actually got to kick it with a group out here in Texas of Chargers fans. For all y'all who are still out there saying that we don't have fans. My guy, David Drogemeyer, I mentioned, was down here and, in Austin, and we got to kick it and share our pain together. But it's a group, Chargers fans in Texas, Austin Chargers fans. They were awesome. And, just nice to be a part of it. I'll try to hang out with them a little bit more here moving into the future. But just something to look forward to here. The Chiefs lost, which makes me extremely happy, and it should make you guys happy as well. I have no clue how they lost to the Ravens with all of the injuries that they suffered, but, hey, 1-1, both teams going in the next week. And so, side note, you guys may have also seen this on Twitter as well. I will be attending the Thursday night football game against that said Chiefs team at Sofi. So can't wait to meet you cats. All my people from Twitter that I interact with regularly, the guys that follow me, of course, my Charger Chat Brodies. it's going to be a good time. Hopefully the season looks really good at that point, and so we can really enjoy the game together and be playing for something. But, let's get past this week. It was rough. It is only week 2. Keep your heads up, guys. I believe in Brandon Staley. You should too. He's going to figure this out. There are going to have to be some serious adjustments made particularly in the run game. But, there were some really bright points, and you got to take that for what it's worth and build upon it. So it's still early. We're 1-1. We're going against, the league favorite in the AFC next week. We know that's going to be a battle. But hopefully, Coach Staley goes in, talks with those guys, and gets them ready to go. I feel like, it'll be a different team next week, and we'll see some improvements. Because if I know nothing, I know that guy pays attention to the details. So execution is going to be huge for the team, and he's going to be on them about it. So, guys, this is my question for this week. Tell me what you're thinking about the interior defensive line long term. Do you feel like the Chargers are going to have to play with the lead a lot, try to jump out on teams to get them to be one-dimensional? Or do you feel like Staley's going to figure out a way to cook up something to help stop the run game? Because right now, that too high shell invites the run. And right now, they're not doing a great job at stopping it. Again, it's 2 weeks in, so we'll see what adjustments are made. But let me know what you think about that. And, per usual, fam, we all know what it is. Bowl gang or don't bang. Till next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Dude. Craig.
One of the best segments, I think, so far.
I mean,
killed it.
Pointing out all the things that we need to work on, obviously, that we need to, but obviously shining a light on the areas that we did really well on, and things to look forward to in the future.
We were all sitting here the whole time like, great point. Wow. And we're not things to improve on.
Yeah.
It was like, we have a lot of things to improve on. It wasn't like that. It was like, we got a lot of stuff to get better at, and we were still in this thing.
Absolutely.
That was awesome, dude.
Great job, Greg.
And the Herbert sack, ridiculous.
That was the one
so stupid.
Yeah.
He was stiff arming.
He's had back-to-back.
Stiff-arming him and throwing the ball. Like, how is that?
Back-to-back fumble in the end zone and a sack that wasn't a sack. Like, the referees in New York need to figure their shit out.
I can guarantee if that's Patrick Mahomes, stiff arming and backpedaling and throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
They're celebrating him.
Not a chance.
The referees are fist bumping how cool it looked.
Holy cow. What a throwaway.
Wow, that was impressive,
wow,
right?
Kept it alive.
Mesmerizing. No, but you're going something that he just mentioned Thursday, something.
Dude, I will be there Thursday night.
There you go.
Greg. I cannot wait to see you on Thursday night. Let's go.
Let's get coach and the experience together.
That's right.
Coach experience.
That's right. Yeah, a divisional game.
Craig's classroom.
That's a good guy to have it at a Chiefs game on a Thursday night.
You guys can share notes and thoughts and opinions with each other.
You'll beat people up. Apparently, everyone thinks I'm like 4 feet tall too. So I need a bodyguard.
Yeah, because Craig is no slouch. He's always.
I don't know how tall Craig is. Again, we
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Those arms, no matter how tall you are.
Stone carved that.
That's right.
Great.
100%.
Great experience.
All right. Well, as far as this question, as far as what this defensive line, stopping the run game, what are we looking like in the future?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously an issue. I mean, we
it's hard.
Have a hard time.
Yeah, it is hard though. It's like, is it?
Well, I mean, it might go back on that Staley thing where it's like it's all about the execution. Like we've got the players there.
He said
we just need to execute better.
He said specifically in his press conference there were just a few times where the line slanted the wrong way and left huge holes.
That's the coach's call.
So that's a problem there. And then I think honestly Tillery needs to fucking show up.
Yeah.
Like he's been blown off the ball way too many times for me. Mm-hmm. I want to see him show up. Otherwise, give some of these other guys a shot, man.
Well, we've talked about it too. And even Craig said, when you go cover 2, you go too high, you invite the run.
Right.
So when
that's a team that's got Ezekiel Elliott as their runner and Tony
2 really good running backs.
Yeah. And I think we came into this game like, Zeke throws 50 times a game, and Zeke had a bad first game.
Right.
But Pollard had a phenomenal game. Like they have and Zach Martin came back on their offensive line.
Right.
They are a good running team. And we invite their run. And I do think that not having Derwin James back there adds that too high guy, because he can be too high. He'll play at 8 yards, and he's in the box like that.
Right.
You saw him last week flying into frame, taking running backs out.
And making a tackle for a 2-yard gain.
Chris Harris might be a big deal. You talk about the defensive line being a problem, but it may be the back end that is the
think
support.
Even more so as a coach for Staley, you think about, okay, if Chris Harris was to miss more time, would I rather keep Derwin at safety and bring in another guy to play that nickel?
Mm-hmm.
Do I bump Asante down to play the nickel and bring in one of our other corners to come in and fill in?
Right.
Is that a better look against the run than having Alohi and Nas back there?
But Asante's killing it on the outside.
No, he is 100%. That's you gotta give and take.
Right, you've only got some guys to work
of
with,
everything.
Right.
You gotta take what you can get.
I mean, especially when you're dealing with injuries. That's
right.
What started
this is
Chris
shuffling
Harris.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, Asante's outside, Derwin's up top. You have Chris Harris in the slot. But if you can't have that, clearly we gave up 200 yards rushing. So having Derwin out in the nickel and down by the box isn't the best to stop the run. When he's up high in that too high look, he can come down in the box quick, and he becomes a linebacker like that because he recognizes the run so fast.
So long term, what can we hope to happen?
If Chris Harris is still out, well, I think if Chris Harris is still out, well, if Forrest Merrill comes in, that'd be great. But I think if Chris Harris is still out, you see corners rotate in more on the outside. You see, instead of messing the safeties up, you just switch around the corners and see how that looks.
Go back to being Derwin.
Let Derwin do what Derwin does and see if those corners can step up. Some of those guys that we thought were going to be the guy. I mean, before the draft, those were our starting corners. So let's see what they can do.
Right.
Amen.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about the line; it's more about that secondary and letting Derwin be the guy that comes in and
team sport, man. This affects this. Guys was talking about the levels, like the first level, second level. They all affect each other.
Yeah, right.
So making sure that there's good back, but also you need to fix the front. Like you need to make the right
fixing them, stopping the run. Like we gave up 20 points at the end of the day.
Right.
We gave up 200 yards, which sucked.
Right.
But we only gave up 20 points.
And we kept the ball the whole third quarter.
We should win football games 90% of the time when we give up 20 points.
That's like, remember, it's like the Bolt history, like talking about the old time games. Like they were playing old school football where you have like a 13-point victory. We're an elite passing offense.
If we even cut down our penalty
into the end zone, and then it's a different thing.
If we take away one turnover and cut our penalties in half, we score 35 points.
Done.
You know, and it's a comfortable dub.
Yeah. I feel more comfortable dubs coming. I really do. It's just these slight little things.
As a Charger fan, you're sick of being a good team that doesn't get W's.
It's so still early. It's still too early to be panic button. We wanted to have the win. We were in person, but we were going to get there. And a great way to start is against the Chiefs.
Yep.
So let's do this.
Oh, in Arrowhead.
Oh, dude,
Kevin Duggan.
My voice is going to be
Stellan Duggan.
I'm gonna get Stellan yelling so loud,
man.
And then I'm technically taking my wife and the coming
Josie
baby.
Duggan at the game.
Josie's no joke, dude. Josie at football games, she will headbutt an MF. She doesn't mess around with a baby in her belly or otherwise.
We got 4 Duggans.
Dude, we're gonna actually technically getting a free ticket because she's bringing in. She's smuggling in a free. So this is gonna be good.
Going to be a good game. All right. Well, there you go, Craig. Again, thanks for coming back on for the Craig experience. Great.
Love that shit.
Great segment, buddy. Time to go on to our next segment. Otherwise, this is going to be a 2.5-hour episode. It's time for Ask Boltfam. Here we go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement. Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
All right, folks. That's right. It's time for Ask Boltfam. Whether I've got a hoarse voice or not, it's coming hot.
Get ready.
We heard enough about how great Adam's voices were at the Thunder Alley.
You've got a bit of a handicap, and I'm still going to give it my A game.
That was my favorite story. Somebody came up to me and said, "I love your podcast, but Adam's the best." I'm like, well, go talk to Adam. Why are you telling me?
Thanks for that, Dave.
Why are you telling me?
He's right there. Go tell him.
We're not getting off fan focus.
No pins for you.
You better hold.
We'll get you on fan focus. We'll get you on fan focus.
Okay, come on. We'll get on it.
And for this episode, for Ask Boltfam, we're going to have a little drinking game because we've been drinking all weekend. Why stop now? Why stop now?
It's a special occasion. We're all together.
It is a special occasion. We are all together right now, folks.
Three best friends.
We all have our drinks ready and raring to go. So we are going to be drinking if we get a K Love You Bye, if there is any mention of the refs. And is it Justin Herbert? No, what was the?
No, it was your voice.
And if I use the if I use that voice,
get ready.
You got to take a drink because we're all going to be drinking.
Be
folks.
Safe. Be responsible.
Please be safe. Be responsible.
All at home. No one's driving anywhere.
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere, folks. So you better not be going nowhere either. At least have
if you're on
somebody to help you out.
podcast, by the way.
What's that?
Locked In Chargers, good podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
So, all right, drinking game, Ask Boltfam. We start this off with shamelessly positive Ryan, who asked the question. Outside of the law, how y'all overall experience at Sofi and 5 North Bowl bus? How would you compare it to the Q? And what other games are you fellas going to so I can shotgun 14 beers with y'all? Yeah, love you, bye.
Yeah, love you, bye.
All right.
Yeah, love you, bye.
Yeah, love you, bye. Everybody take a drink. 5 North Bowl was great.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, they had music on, then they had we watched games. We did raffles.
Had the red zone on while we were going up there.
Yeah.
I won this awesome flag.
Adam won a football.
Yeah.
Football.
It's sitting right behind Kevin over there. You can see it. It's a little football.
Little football.
I thought that was a great experience. As far as comparing the SoFi to the Q, I mean, I've been in the queue more times to see Padre games to see Charger game, but comparatively, what a crazy stadium.
Fancier.
Yeah,
I was going to say
much bougier. Yeah,
a little fancier.
Very bougie.
Yeah, it's got that new stadium smell to it.
Everyone was complaining about the food. The burrito I got, very good.
Yeah, I thought the hot dog
it was fine.
It does what it's got to do. It fills you up. Yeah,
it's nice that we were right behind us was the Pacifico draft.
Yeah,
thing where
we had easy access.
Metal cups. Those are nice.
Yeah, we had easy access to the beverages. The lines were long, but I will give it the fact that we are still amongst the pandemic, in the midst of a pandemic.
Oh, and it's a brand new stadium,
and
people are still learning how to do everything they got to do.
Learn where the bathrooms are because there's some hidden bathrooms. If you're smart about it, there was a line that people were in
there's
forever.
one bathroom that's got a line and like maybe 6 urinals in it, and there's another bathroom with no line and probably like 20 urinals.
I went up. There's a huge line of people. I went up to every Charger fan and I whispered, "There's a bathroom over there. There's a bathroom over there. Yeah. Line go."
Yes.
And I got all the Charger fans out of the line, and it was just a line of stupid Cowboy fans not being able to watch the game.
Yeah.
And I will say the one thing I was a little worried about was the tailgating thing. I was kind of a bummer that you can't just go tailgate anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we got tickets to like the orange lot or whatever for our parking for the season. And I was like, that kind of sucks. We can't tailgate. But there's something special about
it's this place you go.
It's concentrated,
dude.
You know?
There's tents everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a outdoor festival, like a music festival.
Yeah.
The energy is fucking at a 10.
Yeah.
There's this music and everybody's just partying and having a good time.
High fives.
That's one of the biggest complaints of these new stadiums. They put them in places because there's not real estate like there used to be when they build stadiums. So you can't just have
the parking lot was 3 times as big.
Right,
as the
Qualcomm is just a gigantic
concrete jungle. Is what it is.
Anyone park anywhere, put up your barbecue, take 3 spots if you want. No big deal. You know, but it was cool to have this concentrated party area.
It was intense.
You park over here, that's fine. You just walk over here, and this is where everyone welcomes you. It's more like open and inviting.
It's like walking into Disneyland.
It is. It really is.
But they didn't require a ticket, so that worked out.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah. Free to just walk in
and have a good time.
Hey, everybody.
Honestly, if I didn't have tickets to the game, I probably would still go to the tailgate
and then just go find a bar.
And just go find a place to watch it. Yeah, 100%. Hands down. It's a wonderful experience.
And other games we're going to most games.
I'm going to the Vikings game with my son, and I'm probably going, depending on how the wife feels after new baby 4 comes. I'm trying to go to the Denver game in January. That's my goal.
Yeah, I know I'm going to several. I'm going for sure to the Raider game on Monday.
Thanks for rubbing it in. Appreciate it.
I'm just closer than you guys.
I know he really is.
I'm going to the Raider game on Monday. I'm going to the Kansas City game on Thursday. I'm going to the Vikings game with you and your son. There's a couple more. But I think there's only like 2 or 3 games that not one of us won't be at.
Right. And the next game I'm planning to go to is the Browns. So outside of that, I mean, we'll try to finagle as many as we can.
Yeah. We're gonna have some tickets too if you want to. Maybe
we're also gonna have some tickets. If you want to be sitting in the Charger Chat pod seat, Yeah.
Let us know what your game you want to go to, and maybe we can we'll work something.
I will eat the cost before I sell it to the opposing team.
Face value 4 days.
I will eat the cost.
Yeah.
And we'll probably send you a free t-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go. It doesn't get much better than that. So, hey, shamelessly positive, Ryan, thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Salty Sports Guy, who asked the question.
Baby! So shamelessly positive, I feel we let one go, and then we should easily have won. Now there was something to be excited about, but what should both fans be more worried about? Right tackle, run deep, poor tackling, red zone offense. Please rate as fast as possible. Fuck the Chiefs, baby!
Read as fast as possible. Interesting direction. I like that one.
After that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
what you was worried about.
run D. Just at the moment. All those other things are easy to fix what the problems are. But we kind of got into that a little bit.
Right tackle's it's a Band-Aid. I think Storm's a Band-Aid, and it's okay. Yeah. You can't pay your backups prime. You can't get those best guys. So if Blog is going to be hurt, we have a Band-Aid. Not that big a deal. Poor tackling was a little bit concerning. Kenneth missed a couple of big tackles that led to big plays. Derwin missed a couple of tackles. Red zone offense, I do believe, will get fixed as soon as we eliminate these penalties and turnovers.
Totally.
So I think stopping the run is right now the main focus of fans.
Because that is what gets the team further down the field.
Yep.
I mean,
and controls the clock, keeps Herbert off the field.
Facts are facts.
Anything that keeps Herbert off the field, I'm worried about.
Amen, brother.
Amen,
brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, there you go, Salty Sports Guy. Let's move on now to Gruder McBolt.
Hell yeah.
Who asked the question?
I just have one question. Why the was Trey Pipkins in the game? That's all.
Jumbo package, am I right?
I mean, you got to switch these guys out.
In game, when we were at the stadium, I didn't it's hard to see personnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he in at right tackle? Or was it?
I mean, we saw him on special teams a couple times, but yeah, I didn't even see a snap count of how many times.
Correct us in the comments, please, because I'll go back and watch it. Because we went back and watched it last night, but
I didn't notice a pumpkin anywhere in that.
Normally, like against Washington, he came in that sixth, that like jumbo package.
Yeah, that's where he comes in. Yeah.
Which he's the sixth guy, and it is what it is. Like, why he's on the team is the bigger question.
But why is he in there? Because they're trying to get him on the field and capable of doing something. That's the answer. Do I like it? No. No.
Shamelessly positive. Shamelessly positive. The look is the coach are trying to get him game time experience.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Here you go. Got to do what you got to do.
Penalties and turnovers.
There you go, Gruder McBolt. Thank you for asking the question.
Name, by the way, every time I see this on Twitter,
it's a great name. It's fabulous. Let's move on now to I'm allergic to jerks. Who asked the question?
I'm starting to think replacing the refs with a bunch of butt-scratching dildos was a mistake by the NFL. Yes, I used that joke last week, and I'll keep using it until we see competent referee.
Butt-scratching dildos.
Oh, my God.
That's a potential title.
I'm gonna make it. I don't know if we're gonna use it.
We'll see what it looks like.
Scratching dildos.
That's
how I feel about the refs.
We got a drink. You talked about the refs.
Cheers, boys.
Everybody take a drink.
Oh, yes.
All right. So, they're dildos. Bunch of floppy dildos. Big floppy donkey dildo.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. We got to stop letting them even have a say.
No,
right.
Don't give them a chance.
Just start executing. Don't even be on the ticky-tack option. Beat teams by 20. Let's go.
Pisses me off that they're not giving Brandon Staley answering questions he's asking.
I know. They're not respecting Brandon Staley, which is... Right. Like, you tell me Belichick screaming over there on the sideline, somebody's not going to talk to
I have a recommendation for you, Brandon Staley. As soon as the referees come out on the field, you walk up to one of them, you piss on their leg. Unzip your pants, piss on them, establish dominance, and then they will tell you what you need to know.
There you go, Brandon.
Or get a
sweater for me before.
Or get a sweater.
Yeah. There's a story.
Remember that time, Kyle.
Mom and
I think
Dad,
you were 7. I think you were
Kevin
7.
Ever pissed on me as a kid.
I think you were 7.
We'll find out later tonight, folks. But hey, I'm allergic to jerks. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to JV, who asked the question. Who asked the question?
Well, folks, you can't win them all. Unfortunately, we didn't play as great as we should have, and it surely seemed like the Cowboys had some extra players on the field with the refs. Well, let's look at the positives. How about that Asante Samuel, quarterback one?
One of the better second-round picks we've had in a while. I'm just going to say it. That guy is flying around. The anchor. Oh, did he say "I love you"? Bye.
He said refs.
Oh, he said refs. Cheers.
I better take a drink.
But yeah, he's a monster. Like the second round pick, like the fact that he's establishing the way he's playing already. Yeah. Like he was a great pick. And I'm just so excited that he's on our team.
Yeah. He's attributing and in a way that we all notice.
Oh, 100%. You see that's one of our best. He's our best tackling cornerback
because they're attacking him. Yeah. They're going at him.
And he's not having it.
And he's standing up to the
I ain't having that shit.
Yeah, he's standing up to it. And it is like I remember when we drafted him, me and you were at Brad's bachelor party.
Oh, we were celebrating hard,
losing our minds. Like, how on
did
earth
we get him?
Did he fall to us in the second round? Yeah. So this draft class is turning out awesome. He's a fun player, and I'm excited for the next however many years he's on the Chargers.
Me too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Thank you, JV, for asking the question. We move on now to a guy we saw this last game, Bobby Caldrone.
Makes it so much more real.
I know.
It really does.
I know him.
Here we go. Who asked the question?
Sadness. On a positive note, the only thing holding back this offense is itself. Penalties, slips, etc. And the defense held a really good offense to 20. My question, how freaking sick was it to have all these Charger fans in one place for the first time in a long time? K, love you. See you next year.
Bobby, for a drink.
It's the Chicago way. I hope it's not till next year, dude. We gotta set this up. I'm in Missouri. I'm like 5 hours away. Maybe we just come up there.
There you go.
Figure it out. Who knows? We'll find out. But yes,
the first time in a long time, to have, just going to Thunder Alley. Thunder Alley was like a concentration, but then to get in the stadium and feel
I went to the last time I went to Thunder Alley was at our soccer stadium, and that was a different feeling. Thunder Alley
was it like? What was the comparison like?
It just wasn't near the level of people there, and just the energy was totally different. It was. It wasn't
30,000, and if 50% of that is Chargers, you only have 15,000.
Yeah,
it was 70,000. You take half of that, 35,000 Charger fans.
What I'm looking at is that I'm seeing that the fans are coming on board.
Yeah.
That's what I saw by Thunder Alley, because I had 2 years ago when I went to that game. This is a different thing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more excited about it.
Yeah, I love it.
And meeting Bobby and it's
there's some diehards out there.
Freaking awesome, man. Like he's willing to fly from Chicago to go to the game. Like that's sick.
Yeah.
Big time. Love it. Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby, man.
Good to see you. And hey, thanks for coming on. Let's move on now to Brian LaRoe, who asked the question.
Due to a freak cellular tower being down, I missed most of this game, but I'm concerned at the rate Herbie is turning the ball over. Can I get some context and your feelings? I am the knight. I am Brian LaRoe.
I'm not worried about it at all.
Sorry about just took a freak.
I think I'm stealing
just for fun.
Might as well.
That was for me.
I'm stealing this from the Chargers podcast. So that's the one I listen to a lot. And they were talking about basically he's not making bad throws. These aren't desperation.
They're not. Yeah, they're not like Phil. Like remember the last couple of years of Phil. Like we're behind and he's trying to just force.
Fuck it, football.
No,
let's go.
No,
it's football. Hook it up, baby.
Yeah. No,
episode title probably not making it, but yes.
Yeah, it's the first one. I do agree was a bad throw.
Yeah,
he tried to force something. The second one, Keenan fell down. Like, what can you get? Like, how do you blame a guy for that? And the number of good throws that he makes throughout a game and the consistency of his completions to incompletions, it's like, even if he like 2 picks, those are like 2 of his 7 incompletions for the game is what it feels like. So it's like,
can I tell you the way I look at it is that he is, let's spin this shamelessly positive.
Yeah,
right?
always.
He is getting more confident. Yeah. He is trying to put things, not crazy things, but he has confidence in his receivers. He has confidence in his arm. I have confidence that I'm a much better brother than Kyle is to me. That is just something that I'm fully capable of understanding. Am I right?
Absolutely.
You understand me, Will Dog.
I totally do.
So it's just when you get confidence, you become better at what you do.
Right. Yeah. And is what it is.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, there you go, Brian LaRoe. Hopefully your
it was a moment.
It was a layup.
Hopefully your cellular tower is fixed and all better. Let's move it on now to Mason, aka Mason Besser 0. There it is. Who asked the question?
The run defense was terrible. How can we address it with the current players and the roster for this season?
Singing that in person.
I'm so very happy.
I love Cookie Dog. No offense, Mason. I know it's your first time on. I do voices for everybody. Nothing personal.
Nothing to do with the question or
quality.
who we think you are.
No.
It's just a shot.
Yeah.
We got a list and we go.
We just like to have fun on the Charger Chat podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
it
was a concern, for sure. And I mean, Staley's aware of it. At least that was refreshing to see in the post game presser that, we got to work on that. We got to get better.
Something we're
Tell me something I don't know, jackass.
He did. He talked about something just was off. Right. He was like, I made a couple of bad slant calls that were going the wrong way, and there was just something not meshing. Something stuff just wasn't there. Right. So it's something that's not just us realizing, right? Like he knows it's there. If you trust in who Brandon Staley is as a defensive wunderkind, number one defense in the league last year, I think we have this same talent, if not better than they had in the Rams. We're still only giving up 20 or less points a game. So it's going to get fixed.
It's just perspective. I think it's a good point. It's like I would much prefer this defense than our last one.
Yeah.
Just say that. Them not being able to throw on us and us holding it to a field goal at the end of the game and then having confidence they're going to punt it and stop them. I prefer that over what we have.
Guys, it is so hard to put together a 10-minute, 20-play drive consistently running the ball.
Right.
You're doomed to fumbles. You're doomed to penalties, getting behind the sticks, and then forcing where you're not comfortable doing it. It's so hard to do.
Yeah.
On the other hand, a bomb touchdown because of a cover 3 weakness, that's pretty easy to do, and it's quick.
You do that all day long.
It's hard to continue to drive down the field running the ball. So I would take that. It's hard to watch as a fan. It really is. Golly, this is annoying. But it's hard to replicate consistently.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Mason, thank you for asking the question and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. Welcome.
All right. Now we move on to another old favorite of ours, Okie Doggy, who asked the question.
Just one simple question. How did our offense at times look like a headless chicken? Why do you think our offense had these problems? I know about the refs just screwing us over, but at the same time, our offense had errors that we didn't see against the football team. Taunting, false starts from our receivers and center, illegal shift, illegal formation, etc. Hopefully, Staley corrects this if we are to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Well, I'm just a Southern lawyer. I'm not no city folk guy, but yeah, I mean, obviously, Staley is aware.
Yeah, you could tell in his post game, he was disappointed.
I love Lynn, but when Lynn would go to those post pressers, you would ask questions, and he would be like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can't tell you.
I can't tell you.
Yeah,
we're gonna work on it."
So it at least, as bad as that game ended up going, it feels like we're still in capable hands that are at least they're not just unaware of the problem. They're aware. We got to fix this.
Yeah,
sure.
And you feel like he's got steps in mind.
Yeah,
to fix it. Not like
or at least has a game plan.
You don't want to fire someone.
I had a weird confidence watching that game the other day and looking down, trying to see down where Staley was because I was feeling his vibes. I was like, he's gonna work something out. I'm not worried about it. It's supreme confidence in him right now, and it's just a matter of time. These are just stupid penalties. Yeah. You take away the penalties, that's a totally different game. Yeah. I don't feel like our offense has we're a headless chicken. I just don't feel that way. No. I just feel like we've had some tough breaks, bad penalties, wrong times, and that's the reason why we're not winning by 15, 20 points.
Yeah. And if anything, shamelessly positive, we're seeing guys playing ways that we've never seen before. Like Mike Williams is playing in a way that we've never
He
seen.
should have been
guys
drafted
play.
in the first 2 rounds of any fantasy
Again,
football.
it feels like we're utilizing him in a way that Mike Williams should have been utilized from day one.
Also forget that the Dallas Cowboys are a good football team.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
They took the Super Bowl.
That's a shamelessly positive way to throw shade.
And not bad.
Not great, not bad.
They took the Super Bowl defending champions to the end. It took a last minute Brady drive to win the game. This is not a bad team.
Right.
They have a lot of talent. Should we have won comfortably? Yes. Which speaks to how much we should be excited.
Right.
We didn't execute, but that's stuff we can fix.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, there you go, Okie Doggy. Hey, thanks for asking the question, buddy. Always good to see you every week. Another one we love to see every week is our next one, 33 Cheese Balls. You asked the question.
Last year, the Rams defense allowed 300 yards in 4 of their first 6 outings. However, they allowed under 300 total yards in 8 of the 10 games following that. I know it's a very general stat, but do you guys think the defense will improve as we progress through the season with players becoming more comfortable in the system? It seems like throughout the game, there were defensive miscommunications at key moments, like on 3rd down of the last drive when no one was covering the flat. Hopefully at this, hopefully. This guy's crazy.
You're going out.
Hopefully, as the season goes on, the team cuts down on these. The question can also apply to the offense, as this is the first year players are in the Lombardi system. I know the loss is poo-poo, but it's only 1 week. Hoping you guys are on that shamelessly positive vibe, even in these darkest hours.
Wow, Adam, you
I didn't know I could do that.
No, it sounded just like Kevin.
Wow.
Dude, come on.
I mean, even with this hoarse voice, I can't believe I could pull off a Kevin.
That was impressive.
That was crazy.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to Kevin.
Cheers.
Hey.
Cheers. So, can we be shamelessly positive? Does the Pope shit in the woods?
Yeah,
I think we can.
There's a bear shit in the woods.
Of course we can. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great stat. Like what you see from that stat is that Staley and his team got better as the season went on.
Dude, I mean, like, look, everyone's like, oh, Justin Herbert, 6 systems in 6 years. That's hard to get used to. Every single player on this defense is getting used to a brand completely polar
not just
opposite.
Justin Herbert.
The defense is polarly opposite from what we're used to.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
So every single player, not just the rookies, every single player is getting used to it. How the calls are made, the way that we adjust to certain things, it's all brand new. So you can't help but be optimistic about losing to a good team you know you should have beat. It's game number 2 with a brand new staff.
Yep, I'm fully on board with that. Usually we lose and it's like a dark depression till about Thursday.
Yeah.
Adam? Right?
Turn it off. I'm trying to make a good point here.
Turn it off, Adam.
Usually I'm in shambles until Thursday. I got over it real quick because I still have super confidence in this team and I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, there you go.
This is the most creative one we've done so far.
Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Gavin Gibson.
Certified fucking fresh.
Oh, baby, who asked the question? I'm going to remain shamelessly optimistic after the loss. We played well. The refs screwed us with stupid calls, but we also screwed ourselves with even more stupid penalties. What do you think was the key areas to fix before we face the Queefs next week? How can we improve on the run game to help us against teams in the future? Our O-line needs to keep protecting Herbert too. We can't let people through like they did with the Cowgirls. Also, don't forget, screw the Raiders. Okay, love you, bye.
Oh my God.
Love you, bye. Cheers.
Drink.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Or should we say Prost?
Prost.
Prost.
Eine Maß bitte.
Yeah, I think the one area of improvement is the red zone. We have to get better in the red zone.
Have to.
100%.
I think Austin Eckler, I love Austin Eckler. But I do think we need to mix it up with the run game in the red zone with Roundtree.
Roundtree, am I right?
Just bring in that change of pace, and it changes personnel.
Yeah.
You bring in a big back, defense adjust to that. So I just think getting a little bit more creative down there in the run game is what's holding us up from, which it sucks to say, like, you can't win.
Right.
With the Chargers, it's like, but as fans, it's like, oh, we run too much. That's why we're not scoring enough points. Now we don't have a good enough running game in the red zone. That's why we're not scoring enough points.
You can find a way to
lose. Yeah.
Right.
But I do think that being effective in the red zone comes down to running the ball well and play actioning off of it. So I think I just add a little more emphasis, but I think red zone efficiency is where we need to improve the most.
There you go.
Yeah.
I concur.
Thank you, Gavin Gibson, for asking such a great question.
Certified fresh.
Certified fresh. We move on now to cautiously excited Chargers fan.
Certified fresh.
Hey, and I feel you, brother.
Excited.
Who asked the question?
What can Staley scheme up to help the run D since he doesn't have the personnel to do it?
Tommy.
My voice is so.
No, it's awesome. Dude, you're a true fan.
Tommy love Wingy.
I'm trying. Yeah, Tommy.
True fan. You lost it.
What I mean, it's just making those tweaks.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about it this whole podcast. Is just like making those adjustments, getting us to execute better.
Yeah,
the game plan is there. The players are there. The talent is there.
Yeah.
You just got to execute. Just got to do it right. It's a long game. It's a long hours worth of play to get through to make sure that these guys execute perfectly. And that just seems to be all it is.
They're going to warm up.
Games into this with a new team and a new stadium and new players. It's just like we just got to dial it all in, get it all dialed in.
Agreed.
And hopefully that ends up being the case.
Good answer.
Agreed. Well done. I do what I can. Thank you, cautiously excited Chargers fan, for asking the question. We move on now to Ben, aka Ben Knight 41.
Certified fresh. Do we decided we're going to drink on certified fresh?
I think so.
I think we blew it. We got to have like 2 or 3. We haven't been drinking on the certified fresh. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Certified fresh.
Who asked the question? Seems like Staley refused to bring either of the safeties down for run support today. What do you guys think that is? I understand it's a look, but at what point is getting gashed in the ground warrant bringing more bodies into the box? Ooh, yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, I think when you look at Bill Belichick, and I hate talking about Bill Belichick.
Same.
I think what he does best and why he's consistently so good is he takes away what the team does best. And what we did is we took away Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott did not beat us. Everyone would agree with that, right?
100%.
Dak Prescott did not throw the ball 50 times for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
No.
He threw the ball like 25 times for 100, 200 yards and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And a pick. So like we took away what they did best. And we should have won if we would have executed on offense. I think everyone's putting all this nitpicking on our defense. Man, the defense out them to 20 points.
It was 17 until the last second of the game.
Yeah, 17 points throughout the whole game. Like that's a good outcome.
That's a great defense.
And he admitted, there's something was off. The fits were not there. I made a couple of bad play calls and slanted the wrong way. That would have changed a lot of things. Right. One more stop, they score 10 points, right? So it's like, I just don't think that our run game is this red lights, call the cops type of thing. It's like, it's just little tweaks that need to get fixed. I think because of our head coach is defensive specific, and watching a team run for 200 yards is scary. I will admit. I looked up at the Oculus and I was like, wow, they ran a lot of yards. But what does that mean? You know, like they still only scored 20 points.
Right.
So I don't think it's a call, set off all the alarms.
Right.
Get scared. What are we doing? Who are we?
Type of code yellow.
Yeah.
Not quite a code red.
Yeah.
Code blue.
Yeah, code blue. Hey, who did that? All right. There you go, Ben. Thank you for asking the question. And we move on now to Sam Haynes, who asked the question.
Crikey. Holy shit. Well, there's some penalties in this one. We didn't finish in the red zone. Herb had 2 picks. all of these and the non-PI call on the Chargers last drive made me shit my pants. I mean, the dude covering White Williams didn't even turn his head around. What the f***? He love you, boy.
Stick his finger up his ball.
Pretty sure we just cheers to buttholes.
Yeah, we did. I feel like one right now.
Is that a bad thing?
No.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that just watched Coach's Corner saw the penalties were pretty egregious and pretty concerning. Yeah,
we got to a point in the game where I was like trying to get our whole section to agree, just not to cheer
penalties anymore.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Right.
We all hate it. You didn't do anything good. Don't cheer the Cowboys when the Chargers get a penalty.
Right.
We won't cheer when the Cowboys get a penalty. They're just a crappy part of the game.
Exactly.
It sucks. It just is a
I want more
moment.
like jailhouse rules where there's no refs.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Just do it.
You think we'd come out on the right end of that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a tough team, young, strong, kick some ass.
I like
Bite
it.
some kneecaps.
There you go.
Oh, the Lions would be
they would be a next level.
Unstoppable.
The cannibals, you'd walk out of that game with missing players.
Oh, yeah. You would die. Yeah.
Be dead players.
Big time. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Sam Hain. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Revolutionary Dig, who asked the question.
What's a good cure for a hangover? The horrible referees cause me to drink a lot with these terrible colds.
Mimosas from where? Bestawan and Encinitas. That kind of solved our problem.
Yeah.
Bestawan and Encinitas.
Little hair of the dog a bit you.
They're called manmosas, and we had a couple, and it feels pretty
manly mimosas.
Yeah, they're
Right,
tough.
manly.
They're
Yeah,
strong.
they're
strong.
Just
Yeah,
like our
build 'em
team.
strong.
Just like us.
Just like us.
So yeah,
Certified fresh.
Hey, Revolutionary
Hopefully
Dig.
you feel better, man.
Hopefully you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Let's move on now to JDM 2118, who asked the
There's a lot
question.
of freshness.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of fresh people here.
I don't
Drink. We didn't drink on the last one.
I don't think he was fresh.
I agree to disagree.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah. Hey, sup, motherfuckers. First of all, fuck them refs. And why do you guys think they haven't called any players for Herbert to go deep like he did last year? Let my boy get in deep. Oh, yeah, Jerry T, get the fuck out, son. Get Forrest Merrill in there. Shit. Gracias. My cello voice gets worse.
Every week, better every week. Please keep requesting
it's
this.
finding its own thing.
Oh boy! All right. Yeah, we all would have loved to see Forrest Merrill get in there.
I do think the idea of Justin Herbert taking deep shots, like it has not been there.
I mean, we did see he had that one deep shot to Keenan Allen.
He throws over 20 yards like all the time.
I mean, the long to Keenan Allen was a 42-yard pass.
Yeah, I think
that's a fucking that ain't a deep ball. I don't know what.
I think he's talking about
touchdown was deep.
I think he's talking about like the highlight plays from last year, where like the guy would break out, we'd throw
like Jalen Guyton would get over the top,
over the top. Like he's talking about that, and that will come.
And I think it will come, but I also think that the league's on watch now.
Oh yeah, they're
they know what Herbert can do.
Throw the ball deep. Don't give up.
They've had an entire off season to prep.
We ain't fucking with that. No.
Yeah,
ain't no more.
So it's not that they won't come again. It's just that they might be fewer and farther between, or it's just a matter of this offense finding its footing to get them back into that position.
Right.
But we have to wait and see. It's only 2 games in, my man JDM 2118. But hey, thank you for asking the question.
Gracias.
Gracias. Hey. We move on now to Jay Rudy, aka JR Bolts, who asked the question. Hello, guys. I hope you are doing well because I am not. Here's my dumb question. When a team gets heavily penalized in a game like we do, how much of the blame should fall on the coaching staff and how much should fall on the players? Oh, and how much should fall on the referees being stupid pieces of shit? Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck the Raiders. Fuck the Broncos. And fuck the Zebras. Okay, love you. Bye.
Cheers, Jay Rudy. Cheers.
Feel you, brother.
We're gonna go all in on this equal blame, right? That's what Staley's like. Is like, hey, we're all in on this together. Like, we did not perform.
I
well
like that.
enough.
I was about to pick somebody out, but you know what? Fuck that.
Players didn't play well enough. Coaches didn't coach well
I didn't
enough.
yell loud enough that play.
Yeah.
That was my fault as well.
You can't single out one player.
No,
it really, like, the penalties were coming on multiple players.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
I wish you could say, "Oh, Storm Martin played bad because he's a
Right,
backup."
and it's all his fault.
Yeah.
But it's not the case. Like,
Their
it just
penalties were all over the place.
It was all over the place. So, I mean, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like Jared Cook, all those guys got penalties, but those are all playmaking guys as well.
Yeah.
So it was just bad.
I think we can agree on this.
Yeah.
Zebras.
Yeah, it's the Zebras.
After that conversation, Zebras. Yeah, you're right.
Hands down.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us know, Jay Rudy.
Thanks, bud.
There you go. Fuck the Zebras there, Jay Rudy. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Gordo Jorts.
Certified fresh.
That has to be certified fresh.
Gordo Jorts.
Gordo Jorts.
Who asked the question? Hey, boo boo. With Balaga Halton signing Schofield, should we move Filer out to right tackle and let Hymus and Schofield take over at guard? Hey.
I don't think so. I think Filer is definitely like there. You know, we're talking about this getting better every week, getting our rhythm, getting used to our new thing. Like, let's not throw the wrench in the system just yet. I want to see Filer stay there. I want to see him play next to Lindsley and Ibushi on the other side. I feel like that can be strong.
Yeah, I think this is that was the thought though in picking up Schofield. Obviously, you pick up a
just
guard,
depth. He's
with
just
the tackle down. But I do think that if Storm plays poorly, there's some pressure there. You know, like you're not just the guy.
No,
you better go out and perform, or else we have other options.
I also think this says a lot more about Pipkins too.
Yeah, Pipkins is
like Pipkins got like super demoted.
He's not number
one.
3. He's down there.
He is like we are barely hanging on by the.
We'll go pick up Schofield back on the squad before we
everybody else better be dead.
I think that pick says less about Storm, more about Pipkins.
Right. Yeah. That's it also does light a fire under Storm though. Like you better get going and make plays, or else we have other options.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Gordo Jorts.
Gordo Jorts.
Asking the question. We move on now to Toasty Ghosty, who asked the question.
All right.
What are some of the reasons that are making us struggle to convert the red zone? How can our run defense improve throughout the season? Can my voice be Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. Kermit the Frog?
What is the song like that? Rainbows and wishes.
Rainbows are visions, but only illusions.
I love that song. That's one of my favorites.
I hate the Chiefs, and so do you.
I'm just going to keep chalking it up that we're just not executing.
Yeah, penalties. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, fully capable of getting touchdowns in the red zone,
and we've seen it.
It's just past me. I
mean, Keenan Allen tripped. And that turned into a pick.
And then Justin Herbert, he calls for a sack where he's backpedaling, stiff arming someone and throwing the ball. How do you fix that? I don't know.
It's just bullshit. It's just a bunch of steaming pile of bullshit.
Right. You
just got to deal with it. Just got to deal with
the wrong refs for a home opener. We really should have had a different.
Yeah, let's find out who that crew was. Let's hope we never get that.
Well, I saw that he's been in the league for about 24 years, and it's clearly 24 years too many.
Yeah.
So
time to put him out to pasture. Make some glue out of him.
Let him go. Let somebody else with the fresh set of eyes
make some glue.
Come in. Yeah, 24 years. I mean,
I don't want to kill the guy, but
I just want to make him glue.
Get him a comfortable retirement.
Legitimate question. For a ref that's been in the league for 24 years. How many times has the rules changed over 24 years?
Yeah,
and how much can you actually adjust your brain to be like?
This feels like this ref might have been a kiss ass that has been in the league this long. He's
know what I'm saying?
All right, the league's calling down. I got to do this.
The league wants us to look for a legal man downfield. Okay,
all right,
there's one.
Let's do this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was just something that just occurred to me. But hey, Toasty Ghosty, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother,
for asking the question. Let's move on now to Super Bolts champs, aka Super Bolts 28, who asked the question.
What's up, guys? We know we lost. That freaking sucks. Just describe your own experience at Sofi. Can't love you, bye. Oh, before I forget, fuck the motherfucking refs. Can't love you, bye.
That's 2 greens.
I hate
Refs and Caleb.
I hate the zoo. Zebras.
SoFi was amazing.
I couldn't ask for anything more.
That is the highlight. It's just being there, being with the fans. If we would have walked away with the win,
I'm not going to lie. That beer tasted like it was worth $17.
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was going to be more.
What do you mean?
Maybe I was already too drunk from the
in general.
The tailgate.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like it was that expensive.
No, it wasn't. No, we spent.
Oh, you mean the cost?
I just
thought you meant the experience. I thought you were like, I was a little let down. I thought there would be more.
Mike, I looked at my credit card bill this morning. Not what I thought I spent.
It would be worse.
No, it's worse than I thought.
Oh, you thought it was worse? Okay. Maybe
I'm taking home a lot of sweet swag, but
Federale softened out the edges of the.
Honey, we're gonna have to remortgage the house. So I got some Charger stuff.
No, it was a great experience, and like being around Charger fans, being in that stadium, seeing our home. It was cool, dude.
That is our home.
Cool.
That will be our home for God knows how long. But yeah,
our house in the middle of Inglewood. Our house in the middle of Inglewood.
Love it. Hey, thank you, Super Bowl's champs. I know. Hey, you changed your name. It's usually Super Bowl's what? 30 something, and now it's Super Bowl's champs.
He's
I love it.
trying to trick us.
I know he was
technically certified fresh.
Technically, and refs and Caleb.
Technically.
Oh wow.
Trifecta.
Wow. We already drank, but we're drinking again.
All right, fair enough.
Because why not? All right, let's move it on to another old favorite of ours, Blonded Surfer.
All right.
Who asked the question? Why? Where do I even start, bros? Officiating was terrible. It was straight ass. But let's focus on what we were able to control, all right? Our run defense, pretty shit, especially down the middle. So many missed tackles. You're supposed to wrap the motherfucker, not hug him like you were a little boy hugging a girl for the first time. Am I right, guys? It stings. And I'm not talking about the jellyfish that stung myself to cope with the loss. Well, we face but dumbass homeboy next week. We always matched up with them extremely well under Gus in past seasons. Do we expect the same? Why are you dudes more worried about our offense or our defense? Where the actual hell is Drew? Seems like he's only gotten 5 snaps between 2 games. It's pissing me off. Staley/Hill are benching an insanely talented linebacker. Thanks for answering, boys. Back to stinging myself with this jelly. Might even swallow a sea urchin for fun. Maybe get bit by a shark. I don't know. Anyways, as always, the refs. Can't love you, bye.
Oh, to the refs.
To the refs. Yeah, good question. I'm not as worried about the offense. I think that's going to get fixed up real nice. Defense, I'm actually thrilled to see what we do next week. We held what's his nuts to 100 and something yards. Yeah, Dak.
Yeah.
Dak, what's his Dak's nuts?
What's her name?
What's her name? What's her name?
We all know that this is the test. This is what we build our team around, is to beat the Chiefs.
This is what we're made of.
This is why we hire. This is why we hire a defensive-minded head coach as opposed to an offensive, because we know that every year we have to stop Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
As much as we hate him, you have to respect the fact that the guy is one of the best to do it.
Sure.
So I am excited to see the scheme that comes out with injuries, with how we performed last week, come out and shut him down. Drew Tranquil, it is a bit bizarre. I mean, in this last game, he played 11 snaps on defense. He played 9 snaps on special teams. So half the special team snaps, only 18% of the defensive snaps. I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for, what they're holding him off for, what dynamic change happened. But he's not being utilized as much as we initially anticipated, especially being a captain for the defense.
I expected him to be opposite Kenneth Murray, but it seems like Kaiser White. So I don't know what the difference is between the two players. But yeah, he does seem to be a bit non-existent. Couldn't say. I mean, that's not a question that we've heard Brandon Staley answer lately. Yeah. So we're just as confused as you are, Blonded Surfer. But hey, thanks for showing up. Thanks for asking the question. Good luck with those jellyfish. We move on now to Coach Lago.
Hey, Coach Lago.
Who asked the question?
Well,
Impossible to talk about the game without going off about the Zebras. Hey, 2 weeks in a row on the side of shit cows. Hey, very deflating being there in person, but I'm sorry, I digress. It's nothing new to us OG fans. Hey, from what I saw when Murray went down, Tranquil made some great plays in the run game. Hey, should we be using him more on D? I've personally been surprised we haven't seen him in more packages on D. It was great to meet you bros. One more very important question. Did Huggin shit his pants? Maybe I don't know.
Hey, drink.
Oh, you got your voice. That's right.
Lago.
I'll go for the win. I would say less shit pants, more stain.
More sloppy sleeping.
It was just
more of these last
more
night.
I trusted a fart that didn't quite pan out.
Kevin had a little spit left in the trumpet, apparently. But, it was
I've never heard that. That's so gross. But that's true.
But it's true. As far as
Drew
Tranquil again, yeah. Back-to-back questions is just
we don't know. Maybe he's the guy that'll stop the run. Maybe next week they'll give him a shot.
We would think that we would be using him more on D, but apparently just you got to trust Staley and making the decision.
He knows the snap counts. He knows who's in there.
Exactly.
Let's see if he makes a change.
Yep, exactly.
Staley we trust.
And Staley we trust. There you go, Coach Lago. Good to see you, and thank you for asking the question. We move on now to This Is Our Year.
Certified friend.
AKA Ladder Splatter, who asked the question. In all reality, losing sucks. But I think this was the best thing to happen to this team. How we were acting in those stupid-ass penalties. We can't keep going down the road like this. And taunting? We're better than this. And we're better. Learn from this. God, that was screwed up. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're going to learn.
Get it out of the way now. Let's go.
This is our year.
New drinking game. This is our year. But yes, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Stupid ass penalties. And let's move
I would
on.
rather have them week 2 than week 19.
Get them out of the way now.
Yeah.
Get them out before we get to the next week's divisional game. I feel like there's going to be a lot of things to learn from this week when they're going through tape.
That's all you can do.
We're not going to have any of those stupid penalties or far less than what we experienced.
We're done. We're so done with this shit.
Done.
There you go. Thank you. This is our year for asking the question. We move on now to Lexi McWilliams, who asked the question.
What is going to kill us faster? Possible injuries or the refs?
Well, my heart's going to stop from the refs.
Nothing's going to kill us.
Good positive answer. Yeah, get them, coach.
We're eternal. We're going to win the Super Bowl every year.
We'll never
die.
I promise. I'll never die.
Never die.
There you go, Lexi McWilliams. Thank you.
Final answer.
Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Daniel Llewellyn, who asked the question. All right, so he's got, I'll just describe it. He's got a surfer emoji, concerned face, sad face, tear, crying, flow of tears.
Okay, later on, dude.
And he said it's a gif of a peanut butter jar, and he just put in a face with a sad face.
Yeah.
So I do like peanut butter, and that sucks.
Yeah. Sad Daniel.
Sad day in my peanut butter.
Sad day, Daniel. We love you though.
We
man.
agree.
Hey,
we love you. Bye.
We love you, later on, dude. Let's move it on now to Carl Bollingtoft.
Certified fresh.
How do you work on reducing all those stupid penalties as a coach? What's going on with not converting the TDs in the red zone? Will the Chargers just always continue to do stupid Chargers stuff, or will it get better? Follow-up question, if that wasn't enough. Do we lack courage in the red zone, or why aren't we getting the most out of our opportunities when we get all the way down the field?
Well, Carl, I'm concerned with your tone
doesn't really go in line with the pod.
But
well, we understand
we understand the question.
That's where we were the first hour and a half after the game on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah,
we
I was just a sloppy baby, just like walking, like head down, like bump
on the curb, waiting for the bus.
It's like sad Charlie Brown.
Right.
Walking to the bus.
But we will not always continue to do stupid Chargers. It will get better.
Right. The answer to all this
We're
is
not that dumb.
The answer to all of this, as we've mentioned, is just tuning it in.
Just a tune.
Just making the adjustments.
Go in there.
Getting that execution down.
Tighten those bolts.
And I have trust.
Oh, shit. That was a sick pun.
Watch. What was it?
Tighten those bolts.
Tighten those bolts.
I know. You were too concerned about what you were going to say next. You weren't listening to what I was
thinking
saying.
about me, not you. I forgot what I was going to say.
That was really good. I'm like full on dad jokes. So
Final answer. Tighten the bolts.
Tighten the bolts. Yep. That's the episode title right there. Tighten the bolts.
There you go.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl, for episode title. We appreciate
Love it. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Corey Emery, who asked the question. I do think if the refs had called the game, well, we would have won. But at the same time, we did deserve a good handful of those calls. Do you think this will continue, or do we clean it up before the Chiefs game?
Clean it up before the Chiefs game.
Now, like tomorrow, as soon as they get to the facility.
Tomorrow morning, they'll go get their therapy, get their bodies worked on, and clean it up.
Activate.
Yep.
We're gonna fix this.
Clean up.
Yeah, 100%.
We're gonna beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I can't wait to watch it.
I can't wait to watch you watch it in person.
I'm gonna send you lots of videos.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Corey Emery. Thank you for asking the question. We move on now to Grown Up Gambino, who asked the question. Red Zone offense has been terrible. Can you just discuss that for a bit? Great, not success. Not.
I don't know. It's penalties, man. That's what we're dealing with right now. And weird 25-yard fumbles.
Execution.
I think the play calls are there. I'm not worried about that.
Play calls are there.
Right. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go and say we need to run the ball more? No one wants to say that.
I like to see Herbert.
That would be a nice change of pace, though.
But no one wants to say that. I feel like such a hypocrite saying that because last year all we said was throw the ball. Don't be typical. Don't be like predictable. Getting in the red zone, running the ball, that's predictable. I feel like I'm in this weird glass case of emotion right now where I can't say what my heart wants because I'm like, but last year I was begging for something different.
Yeah.
And now we have something different. And it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're 1-1. And I'm just going to ride it out and see if this different will pay off in the long run.
I can't get behind that anymore.
Right.
There you go. It's an interesting thought, but there you go, Grown Up Gambino. We can't discuss the entirety of the red zone offense, but hey, we've made some interesting points.
We're still the thought's still in process.
Yeah, absolutely. But we appreciate you asking the question. We move on now to Adam Spellhog, who asked the question. I'll say, certified Staley here since it's been a while. Why do we do for the interior D-line, son?
Certified stale.
Certified stale.
Miss you, Adam. How you been, brother?
What do we do for the interior D-line?
We
get Justin.
Don't do anything.
I'm going to get Justin Jones back. That's what I'm going to get back. That's an immediate fix.
Yeah. I would like to see the mix up too, getting Bosa down inside a little bit.
Crazy.
Get him off the edge, put him inside. Like if that's what it takes to take away some of the run here and there, if they just
he's
start
that
gashing
good.
us, he's that good to take it away.
It's so crazy. It just might work.
Andrew Trinkle, if he can mix things up as well.
Oh my God. Now you're blowing my mind.
Chill out.
Thank you, Adam Spellhog, for asking the question. We move on now to 619 Shaggy, who asked the question.
Hi, guys. How many pressures did Slater allow?
God, Mickey, get a lozenge for Pete's sake.
Jeez Louise, man.
I don't know, Coach. Did you look it up? How many pressures did Slater allow?
I didn't see the exact amount, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't
seem like an issue.
He was safe on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Micah Parsons was creating issues for sure.
Right.
But they put him on Storm Norton most of the time.
He was on the weak side of the line.
Yeah. I didn't see the exact number anywhere.
If anything, it was interesting that one play that you called where Slater was like almost to the edge, like making the block for Eckler on that one big run.
They had a design screen. It was pretty cool that there's so much faith in Rashawn Slater. They had a design screen that Rashawn was the only lead block out in front of Eckler.
Yeah.
Usually you have a couple guys out there with the receiver. It was like, hey, Eck and Rashawn, go make something happen.
It was like there was a defender running towards Herbert. I'm like, I think I even asked you, I was like, who missed that? And you're like, well, it would have been Slater, but Slater's out here blocking for Eckler, who's making some chunk yardage.
It was cool. It was a cool play. They trust Rashawn that much.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, go out there and make a play.
And cheers, Certified Fresh.
Yes, Certified Fresh. Certified Fresh. All right. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate the
Shaggy for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Bolt Fam with Boltology Podcast.
Another Charger podcast.
Hey,
I love it.
To the fray.
Let's go, baby.
Go show the guys some love.
Yeah.
Go hit them up.
Who asked the question?
Well, the Chargers didn't lose this game because of the refs. They lost because they aren't disciplined enough. Agree or disagree?
I shamelessly positive.
Maybe it's a different podcast, different vibes.
Shamelessly, maybe realistic.
I don't live in that world.
Yeah, I don't like that world.
Well, I mean,
there's truth to it. If a ref calls a penalty, it's because he saw something.
Right, there's a fine line between being disciplined and not executing.
Right.
Like that almost kind of falls in the same area, and that's what Staley said.
I think there's a fine line between discipline and like basic ass mistakes.
Yeah,
I don't think we're like getting besides the Keenan Allen, that was an undisciplined foul.
Greater penalties are not disciplined.
That's not disciplined.
Yeah,
basic mistakes, I wouldn't call them that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say that we're not disciplined. We had some silly little mistakes, but I don't think I don't know. It's hard to put that label on us right away, like undisciplined.
Right. Sure. It feels more just it's new. Everything is new.
Yeah.
Like this defense that we've seen is not a defense that we've seen in years. So it just feels new, and it's just getting that execution down and just executing the plays properly, getting them
execute
done
the execution.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
tighten up those bolts.
Tighten the bolts.
Tighten up the bolts, baby. All right. Well, Boltology Podcast. Hey, thanks for coming on and asking the question.
Yeah,
and that is it for Ask Bolt Fam.
Wow, guys,
God
doing
bless.
this shit in person, it was literally the highlight of my year so far. So thank you,
boy. After a game of screaming all day and now coming out to try to do voices, it's pretty tough. But
I need to give a special shout out to my wife, for taking over the kids so that we could just be degenerate
4 hours
Charger fans for like 72 hours.
Anybody that's watching this on YouTube has seen that it is now nighttime behind the coach. The sun has set. We started. The sun was up. The sun is now down.
Beautiful.
Oh God, it's been a heck of a day. But before we leave, we've got to always do our Bolt predictions. So we've got Kansas City, who is now 1-1. We are tied with them in the AFC West, playing them this next Sunday in Kansas City at Arrowhead.
Yes, Kevin will be there.
We have to pronounce our Bolt predictions. I will start. My Bolt prediction is that Chargers win 26-24. 26-24, and Herbert throws 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Not done that yet.
I can get behind this one. Mine kind of ties off of yours. You want to go?
Do it. Go for it.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. High one.
Higher than 26-24?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Chargers are going
to. You had to think.
Chargers are going to win 34-30.
Ooh.
And Herbert's going to throw 2 touchdowns to Keenan Allen.
Oh, specifically.
Makeup game.
I want to hear a real Bolt prediction.
Let's hear it. I want to hear some real shit.
Oh, man.
I think we're going to keep the Chiefs under 20 points.
I love that optimism.
20 points is the cap for the year. I think we're going to keep the Chiefs under 20 points.
I like that.
So I'm going 31-20 Chargers.
None of these teams are going to be legal. They're all under 20. 21 not happening. We're staying under 20.
31-20. And listen to this, boys.
Oh my shit! God. Get ready.
Special team scores a touchdown.
No way.
Yes.
No way. Oh my God.
I can't wait.
31-20 special team scores.
I've never wanted to lose more in my entire life.
In full prediction. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. If that happens, I will gladly get a tattoo of your face.
I will intentionally shit my pants.
Yeah.
Oh, on purpose.
It won't be on accident. There won't be no cannons involved. I was just like, all right, Kyle, it's time. You ready? Let's do this.
I'll watch.
It'll just happen. So, okay, folks, Jeezy Greasy. It has been a long episode, but it was our first home opener at SoFi. We all got to go. It's a momentous occasion. I'm so glad to be doing this podcast with these two.
Pilgrimage has happened.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be doing the podcast with these two knuckleheads.
Yeah,
and now to do it in person. And as long as we've done it, God, it's almost been 3 hours. I can't believe we've done this for so long.
If anyone's still listening, we love you.
Yeah, God bless you, folks, for doing this. So, hey. As we say every week, don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Come on down to Thunder Alley, where we got the 4 Fs: football, friends, food, and fabulous alcohol. Don't believe me? See for yourself. I'm drunk. I thought you'd be taller. See, friends? There's no better time than now to go to Thunder Alley, so don't delay. Come on down to Thunder Alley and bolt up today.